They were my best friends growing up.
From Black Can.
I didn't want to leave the hotel. I was scared too.
Meanwhile, you bag, it smelled like straight horse booty, bro. That's crazy. That was... Welcome to Tabletop Topics. I'm your host, Jeff.
And of course, Jeff. Guys, if you want to catch our episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And if you want to catch our ugly mugs on YouTube, Tabletop Topics, one word. And we also have our Clips channel, Triple T Clips, and also our TikTok. If you want to take a quick view at that, just go ahead and click on the link. And of course, watch our content. We have a returning guest, Jeff.
Wow.
3 times the charm.
Bro,
The trifecta.
Bro.
The trifecta.
What up, y'all?
I think he's tied with Kayla, is he?
No, Kayla's 4. Because
the secret.
the secret recording.
The secret recording.
The secret recording.
Secret recording.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's
amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That's amazing. Welcome back, David. Welcome back, bro.
We should have the.
It's always a dude. I fucking
Yep.
It's gonna go far.
You make our brain. You make our
I
brains work.
love that fucking sound. I love that sound,
Bro.
man. Man, it's been a minute.
How many sons do you have in that thing?
So far he only put.
Nope.
And yay, because we had the Halloween one, but he didn't.
Yeah, we cleared the sound.
We cleared the sound because he's like, people are probably getting tired of the whole.
What was it? What did we have before?
I don't know. I can't remember.
See, they
Yeah,
weren't
see?
memorable.
They weren't memorable.
Not like. Come on, bro. That's memorable.
That
man.
is memorable.
You never forget that.
Nope, for sure.
Man, David, it's been forever.
Yep, we have the same questions for everybody like we have for you. Like, how was it after Ian?
For me,
Did everything turn out okay for you?
yeah, actually everything turned out pretty good. No damages to the house, so nothing happened on that end. Really, the only thing that was bad was just inconveniences. We just didn't have power was out for 2 weeks, and
Damn.
we didn't have Wi-Fi was the biggest inconvenience. That was out for 29 days.
You're on Cape, right?
Holy shit. 29
'Cause
days.
I remember-
Sorry, not 29, 22 days. Forgive me.
And you had
22.
CenturyLink or you had
Xfinity.
Xfinity? Damn.
22
Nope.
days.
Damn.
I didn't see a single Xfinity truck out on the streets until the 21st day. Not one.
Was it just like the infrastructure was like damaged, or they were just?
They didn't communicate with their customers in any way, shape, or form. You couldn't get a hold of them, even
Couldn't
if
reach
you
him.
tried.
Yeah.
Wow.
Couldn't reach them any way, shape, or form.
Probably said.
You
line.
couldn't even use the app because you didn't have any damn service.
Yeah.
So you
So
were
there was
just,
no cell service. So y'all were on an island.
just
Yep.
on an island.
Basically.
Solitary confinement, bro. We're
Basically.
cutting you off like one of them
I had to go
dictator
to 7-Eleven
countries
to get
and shit.
Wi-Fi.
That's
Damn.
crazy. That's crazy.
That
What,
prob-
what if the internet came back on? You guys found out the world ended or something? That'd be trippy as fuck,
Oh, man.
bro. We've been cut off from society for 29 days, bro. Everything comes back on. It's like, yeah,
28 days later.
28
days
days
later. The world ends 28 days later. Oh, man.
Oh
That's fucking
man,
insane.
that'd be nuts, man.
Damn.
No, I'm hearing CenturyLink said we are not gonna restore full service till February 27th.
Dude, I heard that shit. I was like, what?
And then half of them are going to be leaving CenturyLink.
Like, what?
Yes,
They're probably just jumping
I thought
to
that was
HughesNet.
home base for them.
They'll probably just jump into HughesNet.
I thought that was home base for them, bro.
It's like, dude, half a year? What do you mean? 6 months? Like, what?
That sounds crazy, man. I don't know how many. Like, they should at least do like a severance package or some shit like that. Like, all the existing customers get
Yeah,
6
something.
months. No, because they're what? They're a national company, right? They're like national company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
So yeah,
could
CenturyLink
charge
is
them.
everywhere.
Yeah,
CenturyLink is
you
everywhere.
could spare what $6 billion. Come on, not I don't even think that's totally $6 billion.
No.
Like
No way.
maybe $2 million for all your customers. In
You know, it'd be awesome
Yeah.
if
For
Starlink
6
bought them out.
months. Starlink doesn't need a wire. What the hell Starlink
Hey,
need
I'm
to
just
do
saying.
with wires and poles? They're
Yeah.
gonna be beaming shit to you.
Right?
What the heck?
Damn.
Man.
It'd be beaming shit into our brain.
Into your
Yes,
brain.
can't wait
Neuralink, Starlink, come on, bro.
Can't wait
take
for
it
that.
over.
I'll speak Spanish in 1
What is
second.
that? Oh, that's gonna
I don't have to
That's
get
gonna be
Rosetta
different.
Stone.
That'll be different. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. So we had a little preview on a conversation earlier,
Yep.
and we just kind of want to jump right back into it. So we were discussing our thoughts on the whole Kanye situation.
Kanye.
Yay.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yeezy. So where did we leave off on? Or do we
What's
want to
going on?
or
What's-
do we just kind of want to reintroduce?
What's
Let's
going
just
on?
reintroduce
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like what's going on with Kanye? Like
Okay. Did you guys see the tweet? All right. Well, first let's start with the beginning.
Okay.
You guys saw the tweet that he posted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to actually pull that up for the viewers?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Let's
real
follow this
quick.
story completely.
Let's do that real quick. Mr. Kanye tweet. Pretty sure that's all I gotta Google because they know.
Yep,
They
they
know
probably
it's
already
the
screenshot
tweet.
it.
It's the tweet.
Also, pull up on another
Tab.
tab and do this video on YouTube.
on YouTube.
All right, word.
So we're gonna tie this into the Freemasonry stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure.
That's crazy. Please
Cause
don't.
bro, I'm gonna tell you guys, this shit's weird, bro. This shit is weird.
I can't believe that was a suggestion. This one?
No, down a little bit. That should be that one.
This
yeah.
one. All right, word. Let's do that.
You're
His
fine.
mom was- That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
That's
Like, bro,
crazy.
just wait.
And so it's like, and it's like when you put some sense into certain things, yeah, not just the situation, but any situation. It's like, man, now that makes a lot more sense why this person's acting a certain type of way.
like, yeah, right.
Because
Mhm.
sometimes people just go crazy, have mental breakdowns, all this. Oh, he needs help, blah blah blah.
But
But
it's like, why does he need help?
exactly,
What's going on?
it never says it. All you have to do is hit exit.
And then also, sorry, final thing to pull up too, look up Kyrie Irving.
Oh, I
Kyrie
was
Irving
actually going to
tweet.
bring that, yeah.
Look, bring that up.
What
too,
is it
'cause
like
That
they're-
ties with this.
That
too.
ties in there.
Is it like
yeah.
all of them are banding together, say "fuck this"? I'm tired of this whole.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if we all speak out, they can't kill all of us. I'm just saying.
Yo, that's Kyrie.
That's
like,
my theory, though. That's my
bro,
theory.
Kanye just disappears off.
Yup.
Yeah, like
He got
if,
sacrificed.
if Kanye just disappears, bro, that was solidified.
just goes
That's
AFK.
it.
What the hell?
Also,
Yeah, everything.
but
yeah,
then again,
confirmed.
This
Mythbusters
Confirmed.
confirmed.
But then again, here goes another theory. Do you think that's the reason why he's doing everything that he's doing in the media today, so they don't take him?
Yes, I 100% think that. I 100% think that.
Boom.
100% think
Boom.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Because if he continues to act the way he acts, they cannot get rid of him like they did Jeff Epstein. You see what I'm saying?
Because think about it like this, right? If you're Kanye, right? If you think about like if there really is an international organization
Mhm.
that has banks, politicians, governments,
Mhm.
judges,
All in their pocket.
in all different countries,
Yeah.
all in their back pocket. What is the only way that you can defend yourself against that? Get the entire public's attention's eye on
On
you
you.
and to stay on you.
Yep.
Because then everybody's watching you and they'll see if something happens.
like a glow stick. Yeah,
That's
basically.
like the only way
Like
you
a
can protect
glow
yourself
stick,
in that
yeah.
situation, I feel like.
that's facts. It's like, look, everyone. Well, then again, everyone knew Epstein was in jail. Like, that was as broad day as it gets.
Yep.
And they got away with
And they
that.
got away.
Yeah,
Come on.
with that.
What, they didn't get away. They just lied to our face.
Oh, yeah, the
And it
security-
was like, hey, you can't really do
The
nothing.
security
You know what
guard.
I'm saying?
Yeah, the security
like,
guard
you can't
magically
really
left,
do
and then when I
nothing.
came back, he was dead. Come on, man. Really?
It's like, you can't do anything. It doesn't matter. What the hell?
Bro.
They don't care, bro.
Dude, it's just like the GameStop like stock exchange thing.
Yeah.
When they just like turned it off, they said nope. You
Yeah.
can't- You just can't pull your money. What was it? They couldn't pull their money out.
They
Yeah.
couldn't pull their money
Couldn't
out.
pull their money
yeah.
out.
Just nope. Stopped.
When that run happened, it was like a bank run or some shit like that.
Oh wait, is that? Yeah, that's the one.
Yep,
right?
this is it.
Okay.
All right, let's start from the beginning.
So let's start with the Kanye tweet.
Is there?
Jump to the Kanyeezy.
The Yeezy.
Show this for our audience.
Screen share.
Yes, sir.
Oh wait, I think it was right there. Hold on. Go up a little bit. Is that it on the right?
Oh, I'm surprised you saw that. That's amazing. Okay.
All right.
So on his way to bed.
What day is this?
Oh yeah, when
man.
was this?
It doesn't even.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's like a week ago.
I
or
got
something.
you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is all
Been a
recent.
minute ago.
I got
yeah.
you. Go ahead.
You want to read it off, Jeff?
I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3. Oh man. The
Stop.
funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda.
Okay.
Who's you guys?
So that's the thing. So
Yeah.
who is you guys, right? So Kanye starts with this tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the whole world freaks out because they're like, because this is something that's gonna be interesting as we go along with this. It's an unspoken rule that you're not supposed to say anything against Jewish people.
Of course.
Unspoken rule. Now, Kanye says something. Now, the DEFCON 3 and everything like that. Like, I'm going to go DEFCON on the Jewish people. I understand that. That's...
You're tweaking!
Yeah.
You're tweaking!
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah,
full
he is.
tweak! Bro!
Like, so, yeah, this is...
Right before bed, too.
Right before bed.
Right before.
He's like this. All right. In order for me to make it to
Yo,
the next
that's
morning.
some Mr. Crocker Ferry
Yeah.
shit, bro.
In order for me to make it
Right
to the next
before
morning,
bed.
yeah. In order for me to make it to the next morning, I have to do this.
I have to take down the Jewish people.
Yo, that's nuts. All right.
So this is a couple of things that's interesting about this, right? So the next thing is there was a video. I should have told you to pull this up.
Yeah.
But there's a video of Kanye West speaking with paparazzi. And in this video, Kanye West shows the paparazzi people how many Jewish executives are in show business, in the music business.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that's interesting is Dave Chappelle just went on an SNL today, and he was joking about the Kanye situation. And even Dave Chappelle says, he's like, look, I've been in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, and this is from personal experience,
It's
a lot of Jews.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
Jews. Now, another thing that's interesting, Goldman Sachs.
Oh shit. The name.
It's a Jewish
Mhm.
Jewish firm. Now, Larry Fink, the owner of BlackRock,
Is Jewish.
is Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
So now the other thing that's interesting, so you start seeing like Jewish tie, also the diamond industry, completely owned by Jews, right? So then Kyrie Irving, pull up the one tweet from Kyrie. Okay, so Kyrie posts this tweet, and read it for me, Jeff.
I was not put here on earth to participate in any religious, political wars or incite racial disharmony, prejudice within communities. We are all equal under the sun, and I am here to participate in the building of an equal world and follow the word from the Most High God, Yah.
Okay.
And he got backlash?
That's not the tweet.
That's not the tweet?
That's not the tweet.
Okay.
That's the tweet he posted after. Because the one tweet is he just posts a link to an Amazon.
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
tweet.
that's
That
what
tweet.
they, right.
That's what they
It
freaked
was
out
a
about.
link to the Amazon movie, yeah, that had anti-Semitic tropes or
Amazon
something
movie.
like
Would you like to explain that?
that.
Okay, so this Amazon
Briefly.
movie, I haven't seen it personally myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
Me
is
either.
in this.
Yeah.
But what it seems from the research I've done, what it seems to be, now I have to watch this movie for myself before. And I feel like most people who are talking about this situation haven't even watched the movie themselves
Mm-hmm.
and are just placating off of what other people have said.
Basically, yeah.
Take my words with a grain of salt because I haven't seen this movie.
Gotcha.
Now, in saying that, it seems from the rhetoric of Kyrie and the rhetoric of Kanye, or Ye, it seems to be their position is it seems like they're trying to say that there is a cabal of Jewish people
Mm-hmm.
that are running the world and that have taken the heritage of black people who are the actual Jews.
Oh wow.
Now that's what to me seems
Yeah,
like.
that.
is
I understand.
insane.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Right.
And
So-
of course, people are gonna dub him crazy or mentally.
Crazy or mentally ill because
Yeah.
talking about again Jewish people is a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Taboo.
So, but this is the thing that's weird. So, like when you first hear it, you're like, "Yo, yeah, he's crazy."
Mhm.
But then you start to think about it, and you're like, "Wait a minute." Goldman Sachs is a Jewish firm. BlackRock, a company
Jewish.
that owns $10 trillion worth of assets,
Mhm.
which has a stake in literally every single company that you
Yeah.
can look at.
Fortune 500
It's-
company. Yep.
The show business, music industry, many executives are.
executives.
And show business is directly related to propaganda. Same thing with music.
Yeah.
So if they own show business, they own propaganda. If they own Goldman Sachs, also the Rothschilds are Jewish
Oh, can't talk about the Rothschilds.
as well too. So it's like it's kind of confusing. But then the other thing is with the Kyrie situation. Kyrie made that one tweet where he just put a link
Put a link
of
to
a movie.
to a public source of information.
And the Brooklyn Nets. What was the punishment the Brooklyn Nets gave
Oh,
them?
dude,
It was bro.
so.
They hit him hard.
It was dumb.
hard.
Oh my goodness.
Because, like, dude, I first thought this stuff was crazy until they went after Kyrie hard.
Wow.
It was, and it's getting weird now too, because it's like they're still holding out, reinstating him.
What is that? After inviting.
Jaylen Brown, yeah, even like some stars are speaking out against it right now too. Same thing with like Braun. And,
Okay, wait. Tweet which he detected, but initially refused to apologize. Yeah, dude, they made him apologize for this shit.
For
Like,
what?
He hasn't. Well, I think it was somewhat
You went to
yeah.
images. Are you
I
trying to
did
look for
put
the
it.
tweet?
Yeah, no, I'm looking for the demands, the list of demands.
I
that
think
they
that's
wanted.
it.
This one?
The Jalen. Oh wait. Yeah, probably click on that one.
Yeah,
That one might
let's
have
click
it.
on this one.
See, Jalen Brown's got his back.
Yeah, because now it's like it's weird now. Now it's getting weird.
Because if it's complete bullshit, why
Yeah.
would you? You wouldn't bother Kyrie Irving at all.
Because isn't the
Yeah.
owner of
Jewish?
No, he's not. He's a shareholder of Alibaba.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Alibaba is one of the biggest conglomerates.
Yeah,
in the world.
and they, I guess, they found out he was funding, like, some of his funds was going into, helping China, like, against the whole Uyghur genocide or the Uyghur detainment
Holy
camps
shit.
and shit like that. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, it's weird as fuck. It gets really weird, but it's like he's flexing his power and shit like that.
Do you see it? Wait, I think it's up there. Go up a little bit.
Jeez, ads.
Fucking ads.
Ads nuts.
Oh wait, down there a little bit, in the middle. Where is it? Oh,
After
there it is.
Irvin's
Suspended him
tweet.
for 5 games. They had him meet a series of
Requirements for including sensitivity training and meeting with Jewish leaders.
Bro, sensitivity training.
And Jewish
Nuts.
leaders? For
That's
what?
nuts.
He didn't.
Does that not sound like straight programming,
Dude,
bro?
that's nuts. Like,
You're thinking
make him
wrong,
do
so we
like
must
some public display. Like, you need to parade yourself and beg for free. Shame.
Yeah, shame.
Yes.
Shame.
Yep. Clean,
Shame.
Shame. What the hell? That's nuts.
Like what?
That's
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Like you guys ever seen something like
That's
this?
fucking weird.
No, it's weird. It is weird.
That's
And Kyrie Irving's
weird.
not just some regular Joe. This
No,
is
he's
an
not.
NBA
This
star.
is an NBA star.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And he's not just an NBA player. He's one of the fucking better ones.
That's weird. There we go. Joe Tsai. Joe Tsai, he's the owner of the Nets.
That's so weird, man. That is weird.
And they recently asked him if Kyrie would be back on this road trip. He's like, he still has work to do.
Like,
Yeah,
what?
that's
Wow.
scummy. That's scummy.
crazy.
Is that not suspect?
That's scummy.
So how does that tie into the video that?
Okay, so
we're-
then we gotta go. So click on the Kanye. Okay,
Yeah,
so with all that information we've got at this point,
Yeah.
now we're going to this Kanye video. So now this was okay. So this is November 11th, 2022. I don't know if it was exactly on that date, but this was in November. So this is very recent. So this is when a paparazzi comes to Kanye, and I mean, just play the video.
They
honestly.
try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize
They
you.
can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
and just for
that's-
Minister
that's
Farrakhan, I
crazy.
love you. But the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone and let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody. Right? I ain't taking no slice
That's crazy.
from nobody. It's God.
That's crazy.
That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah. I'm Christian too.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
Is it because of
Feels
what they
like
said?
there might be a lot of that
yo.
in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important thing in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozy,
Pause it
none
for a
of
sec.
these names.
Wait, just wait.
None of these people
Okay.
that have to listen to y'all because they're dealing, they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say
Holy
whatever I
shit.
want and not go to jail.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Like, dude,
Damn. That's different.
that is
that's like.
That's different.
Now, like, when you watch that, like, does the one documentary I made, does it start to make, like...
It makes sense.
it's
makes more-
connecting. It's
is
connecting a lot
you
of the
seeing the
dots.
connection with
yeah,
it?
it's
Yeah.
connecting a lot of the dots.
Damn.
And it's like, and
Shit's
it's
real, fellas.
so my question for you is, because I know you've been doing the research. My question for you is it voluntary? Or is it something that they're voluntold to do before they do what they have to do?
It's... They do it through stages and degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a slow...
Testing. Jeff, is the mic on?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's a slow process of brainwashing along with fear and intimidation.
I got you.
So basically, when it comes to masonry, it depends. It depends on which stage of life you are in when
Mhm.
you first start into the masonry. But essentially, like the way it goes is as you succeed in the different degrees, you
Mhm.
first start out with the first 3 degrees, which
Yeah.
is the Blue Lodge. That's what you would consider the outer core of Freemasonry, because
Mhm.
it's divided into 2 sections, an
Yeah.
inner core and an outer core.
Mhm.
Once you progress past the Blue Lodge, you can now pick between there's the Shriners, there's the Scottish Rite, and there's the York Rite. The Scottish Rite is 12 degrees, I believe,
And then the 32 is the other one.
the 30,
Yeah.
technically 33.
33. Okay.
33.
All right.
So, as each degree, or basically each degree, you do a set of initiations and rituals,
Mm-hmm.
and they also give you teachings during each degree. So you slowly start to gain more knowledge of the wisdom or the hidden secrets. In each degree, like the rituals and initiations is things like, for one example,
He brought it up.
oh yeah, so that's the we got the Scottish Rite on the right.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, the York Rite on the right, which is the 12 degrees, and the Scottish Rite is the 33 degrees.
Uh-huh.
So basically, to give you an example of the fear and intimidation, some of these rituals, like one thing that you have to do is you have to take a blood oath.
Yeah.
You remember that blood oath?
Yeah,
I
the
told
blood
you
oath.
guys about
Mhm.
that?
Mhm.
Okay, so that, if you want to be a part of the Masons, you have to take that oath. Now, you don't have to take that oath, but you don't become a part of the Masons.
Gotcha.
So they already started off with fear and intimidation because, as you guys remember, they literally cut your abdominal.
Yeah,
and-
if you say something, yeah.
Yeah. So they already start the game off with don't say shit. And
If you
say
do,
shit,
we're cutting your.
we're
Yeah.
cutting you up.
We
So they
cut you
started off
up.
with that. Now, each degree, it slowly becomes like more depraved, if that makes sense. Like one of the examples is in the 30th degree, you have to an initiate has to drink wine out of a legitimate human skull.
Yes, I heard that.
Another one was where there's a group of guys.
They have to stab a human skull.
Yeah,
Or
they
break it.
stab. There's one where they stab a human skull, and there's another one where an initiate goes through blindfolded through a tunnel of other members, where they basically beat the shit out of them and mock them to embarrass them,
Yeah, exactly.
and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's the each degree in initiation, it slowly dehumanizes you, and it makes you like one thing that's weird with psychology is people actually form a bond to their abusers in a weird way.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Stockholm syndrome.
Kind of like, you ever noticed how like if a female is getting beaten by her husband, she won't say anything to anybody.
Yeah.
She'll protect him,
Mm-hmm.
even when it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Stockholm.
It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
They
Gotcha.
slowly, because they're so afraid
Right.
to say
They
anything.
kind of build that. Right.
Especially if you
Yeah.
have family, friends,
Now,
loved ones.
once you get to a certain level in Freemasonry, every famous person has had to, at some point, make this decision. I'm talking about like people who are presidential candidates, people who are in high positions of governments.
Jeez.
You basically, what they make you do is they make you fuck a kid, and they record it, and they have that on you, and you literally control them for the rest of your life. Now, they give you fame and fortune, and they put you on the map. You ever notice how rappers out of nowhere just get famous overnight?
Yeah,
Right.
what's the name of that?
Just out of nowhere?
What's the name?
Ice Spice?
The black gay rapper.
Lil Nas?
Lil Nas.
Because I've been seeing a lot of videos saying, oh, he's not really gay, he's just trying to push an agenda.
Yeah. There's a video of him literally twerking on the devil.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I believe what they're saying, but I'm just saying that that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not really gay, he's twerking on the devil, saying that this is the way to go.
Because notice who's the biggest male and female musicians in the game right now? Billie Eilish and Lil Nas.
Yep. And they're young, because they can influence the younger audience.
And what comes out of their music? Billie Eilish's music is straight up fucking demonic. I mean, if you just watch her music video, there's literally a video where she falls out of the sky like Lucifer getting kicked out of heaven. And then she's talking about Lucifer in the song.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit, subliminal messages.
Oh,
Subliminal
shit.
message.
Yeah.
And then Lil Nas is actually twerking on the devil.
He went to hell to twerk on
The devil, yeah.
So what happens is, and that's why another reason why these people never get in trouble, why you'll never see these people get exposed, because number one, anybody who can actually do something about it is
Demonetized.
most likely part of them in some type of way, and they're compromised in some type of way, right? Either because these people also own big tech companies, right? So they know everything about you to begin with regardless.
Yeah.
So even if they don't have a video of you doing something like that, best believe they have you doing something
They got
else.
you, bro.
They got your porn history. They
Yeah.
got
They
your
got you, bro.
they got your financial records. They know everything that
They
you're
got
doing.
you. Yeah.
And
So-
if you do try, they demonetize you or shut you out or ban your account.
They
all
start
stuff like that.
This is, and I've noticed the way they do it. This is how they go after people, and it's okay. So first they start out with mocking. They try to ridicule, mock, and make the person look crazy, or a conspiracy theorist, or just an idiot, so that nobody takes them seriously, right? If that doesn't work, they go on to the second stage. When they genuinely cancel, they go after like the cancel culture, right? Where they have
send the mob at
multiple
you.
websites, all within a few days or a couple hours, all
Full of
attacking you
stories.
with the same stories, just
Yeah.
like changed a little bit from YouTube. Or if that doesn't work, then they straight up kick you off like they did Andrew Tate,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
where he can't even use Uber or
Yeah.
things like that. And if you still don't shut up at that point, then they just off
That
you.
was crazy. I mean,
That's
where they're like, he
crazy.
can't use banks, he can't use his card,
That's
he can't use
wild
Uber, he
to
can't.
me. How do you just block someone?
But again, too, like they always say, you shut somebody, then that means they're doing something right.
They're doing
and you're trying to
something
block
right.
the message that they're trying to resonate to
Right.
the drones, that the NPCs that they're trying to get.
Right.
The zombies, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're trying to unhook them from the Matrix, as he says.
Yeah, so
And-
when like Andrew Tate's talking about the Matrix, that's what he means of the Matrix. It's it's a spider net of different institutions, people of different levels of power.
That feeds you this mask of
I think people
dependency.
hear that and they automatically jump to the movie, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, he's crazy."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Every time-
they'll dismiss it like that.
The Matrix is such a good example, but it's like it shoots itself in the foot because everyone ties it to conspiracy or you're crazy.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like, how do you think society works? Society is a system. There needs to be some form of control in the system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether we're simulating free will through laws and, like manufactured societal beliefs,
Yeah.
it's still a system. You see what I'm saying? So there has to be some logic towards it, and there has to be a way to guide society in the direction you want it to be,
Yeah.
guided in. So it's like to say the movie like a Matrix doesn't serve a purpose as being an example for how we can be, fucking,
Yeah.
Puppets on
Used.
strings.
you know what I'm
Like
saying,
batteries.
used and shit. It's like, come on, man. You're choosing to be blind at that point.
But now this is another thing that's interesting with the Matrix. Now, one of the other things I found out when I was doing research through the Masonry, the Masons, I think this isn't on the first documentary, but basically there's a book called Magic and Witchcraft from Catherine something. I can't remember her last name, but her first name is Catherine. It's called Magic and Witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
But basically in this book, it details how to conjure up Lucifer,
Mm-hmm.
how to conjure up Beelzebub, the hierarchy of demons, and what their their different roles and things like that. But then it also covers multiple potions, multiple rituals and things like that you can do. But the main thing that was interesting was there was a section when it talks about, you ever noticed how in movies where there's demons, you ever notice that circle that keeps
Yep.
the demon inside of
Yeah,
it? You ever
yeah.
wondered why?
Why?
Why is that? And why does it even you
The
know what I
way
mean?
it's interpreted across all forms of.
Well, like you
that,
said, they cover
right.
magic and witchcraft under the whole demon thing.
Yeah, so basically, the way... Now, again, one thing to understand about Masons is majority of Masons are actually solid, upstanding people.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of Masons have absolutely no idea about the inner core of Freemasonry. If they heard us talk, they would think we are crazy.
So they're outside of the club.
They're outside of the club. It's like, think about a friend group, right?
Yeah.
If you have a
Right.
group of 10 friends, 3 of them are tight,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the inner group, and they have inside jokes. It's the same thing.
Ah, okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes
it's
sense.
the same thing. So, but the thing is, the inner core uses the outer core for their image. Because whenever you hear about Masons, you always hear about the good things. You
The
hear
good
about the
things.
charity works,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
the things that the really genuine, upstanding people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the inner core of Masons, they hold the secret behind Arcanum Arcanum, in their words, which is, according to Webster's dictionary, is the secret behind all astrology, magic, and alchemy.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, when you talk to people about these things, what I've learned is modern society has become so desensitized to words like magic and witchcraft
Yeah, they think.
that it doesn't mean anything. Like when you think of spells, you think of World of Warcraft. When you think of magic, you think of Disney.
So- yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't think of...
So they basically made
Uh-huh.
everything into a game, and
They made everything into a joke.
Yeah, into a
Right.
joke when it could.
I had that conversation
with Julie.
yesterday with Julie.
Yeah,
yes-
where there could be
yesterday.
actual, where there could be, because remember
Yeah.
we were talking about science and magic.
Right.
We had an episode on science and magic, mind over magic, where we're saying it's a one and the same. You know,
It's, you know,
Alchemy is the science of magic.
Of magic,
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
It is.
Right. It's the science of magic.
And the thing is, one thing that's also interesting too is Albert Pike, who is a 33rd degree Mason. This guy literally had the title the Grand Commander Pontiff of Sovereign Freemasonry.
Mm-hmm.
This was this man's title. He made a book called Morals and Dogma. And in this book, he talks about how he literally states that the Blue Lodge is specifically designed to mislead the initiates who are inside of it.
Mm.
So they purposefully lie to them and tell them that these symbols mean this. And the reason they do that is because they think they know the secrets, they don't search them out.
Yeah, that's true.
Cognitive dissonance?
Yeah. If you tell them what they want to hear.
No. Not cognitive dissonance. Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah, if you tell them what they want to hear, they're not going to research
Right.
it. If it
They
makes
think
sense,
they know, right?
Yeah.
So they're not gonna see.
And it also is a perfect defense against anybody who's outside of like if somebody like me tries to tell them what these symbols mean, instantly they'll go, "You don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even part of the order. My master mason told me it means this, so why would I trust you?"
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no way you can convince them that it's not.
There's no self-introspection.
his belief
like,
is absolute, basically.
like right.
100%. There's nothing you can do to
Yeah.
change their mind or sway their opinion.
Unless you prove it to them or show them otherwise, they're not going to listen to you at all.
That's nuts.
And dude, what's crazy too is like even because like I tried to make that first documentary, like I made sure that pretty much everything I was saying wasn't out of my own words, but was literally just evidence from different literature and different things.
So they didn't say it was violence.
Yeah. So like A, because of that, and B, because
Bullshit.
like I understand that like the things I was saying in that documentary sound fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I fully
And that's how a lot of people are going to take it.
That's how they're gonna
Yeah.
digest.
fucking
it.
crazy
Right,
because it
right.
sounds crazy, bro. A
Right.
group of wizards controlling the world, like, bro, that sounds just insane.
Technically, hey, you know.
Well, yeah,
wizards-
and the only thing that sucks too is because I was looking at not to say that's important, but I was looking at the views of your video, and it's like they blacklisted you. So it's like your video's been out for 3 weeks, and it's only have 300 views on that specific one, but the
Yeah.
first two that you came out with
We're
has a 1.2 or 1.9. So it's like now you have to have people type it in or try to beat the algorithm in order for your content to actually get out there.
Dude, it's crazy. I literally had that you say that because I just had somebody comment on one of my videos, and he said the same thing. He says, you as a YouTube creator are being suppressed.
Yeah.
I've been subscribed to you since the beginning, and I still never see your videos.
Yeah.
Same.
And it's just like,
Same.
and like the thing that's...
I don't get notifications in my
Yeah,
notification bell.
and I have
Yeah,
the
bro.
bell- I have the bell and everything on.
Dude, YouTube gave me a fucking strike for that election video.
Violence.
They're like it's,
Fucking strike.
they're like it's too close to the election.
Yes.
You're stoking
Mhm.
violence.
But
I'm
like-
dude.
Hold on, before we get into that, but back to the
That
back
makes
to the
sense.
Masons though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, because this is a topic I want to stay on for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
So in order to keep their secret society secret, they basically like you said, the outer words that are not in the main group are the ones that keep it keep
keep the image going.
Keep the image going.
So that, and then it's beautiful because since they keep the image so pristine, everybody on the outside wouldn't even think to look at them.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
question it, right?
No, that makes sense.
Because I even had a guy comment on my video today who was very upset with the documentary, and he made a point at one point. He was like, "You're just putting a bad name on Masons and the good things that they do," and he gave examples. And I responded to him and I said, "No, I made it very clear that there's two separate organizations within your
Yeah,
thing." And I
yeah.
said that there are those in your order that genuinely lie to your own initiates, and it's right here in this book for
Mhm.
anybody to see.
Exactly.
So
It's not he said, she said. These are facts.
this isn't a
Yeah,
claim. This
yeah.
is coming from your own people
Your
Yeah.
own people.
that said it.
So that means he doesn't know.
That means he does.
And that means
No,
he's one
but
of
that's two things, right? Because this is the thing, right? Either he knows and he's just trying to keep it out of,
Yeah.
Out
Try to
of-
sway you.
or he just genuinely doesn't know. Because that's the thing with Masons. You can't trust what they say. Either they know, they're in the inner core and they know what's going on and they took an oath, they can't say shit, and they will do everything in their power to make sure that you don't even come close to catching on to what they're doing.
Mhm.
Or they're in the outer core and they have no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
Wow.
And I also had another guy. This guy's from, actually I can't say where he's from
Yeah, that's fine.
for his own safety.
Right.
But this guy contacted me on my TikTok, and I've been talking to him for about a month now, and his family have been part of the Masons for the past 300 years.
Holy shit.
Now, this is what this guy said to me that was
The
interesting.
inner or the outer?
his grandfather made it to the 32nd degree.
Jeez.
Damn.
And his father made it. I can't remember if his father made it, but I know his grandfather made it to the 32nd. So they were. His father actually, I know he wasn't that high up because he didn't know what was going on. Because his son even explained to him, and his father had no idea. Now,
So they took the Scottish rite?
They took the Scottish rite, the
Okay.
30. Yeah.
Jeez.
So, basically, he told me. He said, the reason why most Americans join the Freemasons is because if you want to have a successful business and you want to have it for generations to come, you have to join them.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth.
Yep.
You have to join them
Ooh.
because they are all the connections.
Right.
Now, another thing that was interesting, my father, actually back in the day, when he went to Princeton, got approached by the Masons.
Damn. And he said no.
So this is the interesting thing. So my father, so I have to explain this one bit of fact before I explain the story.
Okay.
My father and my grandfather, at this point in their lives, did not believe in God and did not believe in the devil. Okay? Now, my father went to Princeton University, and he was going for his... Originally, he was going to be a doctor, but he switched to physical therapy. So the year before he was going to graduate, or his year that he was graduating, he was part of a fraternity for a couple of years, and he actually became the head of the fraternity. I can't remember the name. But anyways, he got approached by two men who told him that they were Masons and invited him to join their lodge. Now, he went to his grandfather. He said, I got to think about it. He goes to his grandfather, or his dad, my grandfather, and he asked him about the Masons. And he says, yo, these guys are going to put me on the map. They're going to bolster my career and, like, get me started. And his dad says, those people worship the devil. Stay away from them.
Oh, wow.
And this is coming from a man that doesn't
believe, yeah.
doesn't believe. And he straight up said, those people worship the devil. Stay away from them.
And I'm guessing.
And my dad didn't even believe, and he stayed away.
Right.
So,
Damn.
That means there was something. That means there was something he knew that he didn't want his son to get involved in.
now another thing that's interesting. Did you know most of our founding fathers were Masons?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Another thing that's interesting too is you will hear from people that our judiciary system is set up like basically like our rights are God-given rights. Most people think that comes from the Bible. You actually will not find anywhere in the Bible where it talks about giving people inalienable rights. Anywhere.
Rights.
That's a Freemason idea
that they inserted in.
And
oh,
then
that's actually kind of scary if you think about it.
And then the other thing that got me thinking too was when it comes to America, if we think about it, the Second Amendment was freedom of religion, right?
Wait.
Now, if you, right? Is Second Amendment freedom of religion?
No, it's
Or first? No, First Amendment, freedom of religion. Now, when you think of freedom of religion, back in the day, pagans would get persecuted, right?
Right.
So when they founded America, America gave freedom of religion. A lot of Christians believe that we did that so that Christians could worship God without England attacking them and forcing them to be like Catholics and stuff like that. But when I think about it, I think really what it was the Masons, because another thing that I've learned from the Masons is from the founder of the Church of Lucifer, or the Church of Satanism, Anton LaVey, that's the founder. He wrote in his book, I can't remember the name, but he states that many Mason leaders are in every government, and it also says that
even abroad.
Even abroad.
Oh, wow.
Even abroad.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
Oh,
Even abroad.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that.
I thought
Even
this was
abroad.
like
just isolated
This
in the
is
United
just in the
States.
West. This is
No, man, you gotta control the world, man. If
because
I rule
it
the
started in England.
okay.
The modern Freemasonry started in the 1700s in England, but Masonry, really, what Masonry is, in its most core foundational aspect, is Satanism. It's the worship of Lucifer. So basically, every pagan religion has roots of Masonic origins in them, whether they realize it or not. And that's coming from the words of Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan. Now, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. Okay,
Oh, man.
basically, so...
It was like the connection of Satanism.
Okay, so the connection of Satanism and Masonry. So, first thing you might think of is, okay, that's kind of crazy. Why do you think these people worship Satan? Right? Fair argument. Now, we got to take it back to Arcanum Arcanum. What is Arcanum Arcanum again? It is the mystery or secret behind all astrology,
Alchemy.
magic, and alchemy.
Yeah.
What is another name for magic?
Science.
No.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
Okay, witchcraft. Right.
So magic didn't used to always be a word.
A word.
Originally, it was just called witchcraft.
Which is why
Right.
they burned them at the stake.
Right.
Now, witchcraft has an evil connotation to it. It always will have a bad
Always,
connotation to it,
always.
regardless of your faith or belief. When you hear the word witchcraft, you get like a kind of weird feeling. Now, magic, you don't get that same feeling, which is why they changed it from witchcraft to magic.
To magic. Because magic is good.
It's palatable. You can do that.
It's
that's
palatable.
Yeah.
Like everything
Now-
that happens in Disney is all nice and happy and magical. So it's like, let's connect that with it.
Sprinkles.
So when you hear so when you hear magic, then you're automatically gonna, oh my God, I would love to have it. Compared to
Sprinkles,
witchcraft, which is
yeah.
evil. They say connect witchcraft to evil.
Now, the other thing that's interesting about Freemasonry is their Bible. So their Bible isn't an actual book. Their Bible is like their law, their book of, or Bible, like basically their law is the law of nature.
I can understand that.
Nature is as cruel as she is kind,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is why they are able to do, like, if nature allows it, then you can do it.
Then you can
Yeah.
do it.
And that also ties into Aleister Crowley, who was a major Mason. He had so many Masonic degrees that you could fill up 5 pages. And this is coming from, what is his name? He was an FBI director. Can't remember his name. But look up Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley came up with a religion called Crowleyism. And in his religion, his main thing that he would preach is do what thou wilt. Which means do whatever you want. There is no good and there is no evil.
There's no evil, do
Which
it.
is the main core foundational belief of Satanism, is there is no good and there is no evil. Now, the other thing that's interesting about a correlation between the Bible and Masonry is the Bible talks about, in Revelations, it says that 1/3 of the angels of heaven got kicked and sent down to earth. Now, if you translate 1/3 into decimals, you get 33%, which is the same number of degrees of Masonry. Now,
Which is the devil's hour.
which
3
is
through 3.
Yeah.
Which is our devil's hour at
Yeah,
3
the
3
devil's
in the
hour.
morning.
Yeah.
at 3:33
Yeah.
in the
In
morning.
the morning. Yeah. Damn. That's when the.
Bruh.
So,
And it's crazy though, because what he's saying actually makes sense, and it's connecting to a lot of things that.
like, it sounds crazy, bro, but I'm telling you, like, if you think about it,
Yeah, like if you sit down and actually listen,
it's
it's like, damn.
I know
It
I
makes
sound crazy.
No,
No,
no.
you don't sound crazy. It makes sense, and that's why
It
it's
makes
scary.
sense, yeah.
That's
But
why
now-
it's scary.
This is the thing that's interesting about Masonry too. So, one of the things that well, let me see if I can remember this. Give me a second. Okay, so there's a video of this guy. His name is he was an ex Altian Childs. So Altian Childs made a 5-hour video. He is a ex Fear Factor winner, and he claims to be an ex-Mason.
Oh wow.
Now, a lot of the information I got actually came from this guy. This guy knows his shit. I'm telling you, if you go and watch his full 5-hour, it's really hard to find the video. Look up Altian Childs Freemasons. You gotta like scrub through the internet to
Oh,
find
you gotta
it.
like,
You gotta
look.
you gotta look to find
So they're
this
like
video.
shadow banning.
Yeah,
shadow banning that.
yes.
Oh, he's the guy that was like, okay, yeah.
Go to videos.
He's the guy that was like, they was kitty diddling everyone, bro.
Like you said, they
Yep,
they
there it
This one.
is.
Yeah, they record.
Oh wait,
you-
no, that's not it.
No, it's 5 hours.
Hold on.
Yeah, like you said, they
Yeah,
record
I
you
think so.
having sex with a child,
That's crazy.
and then they hold that against
And then they hold it.
You know, it
against
reminds me of that Black Mirror episode where they blackmailed him fucking a pig.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's
To
yeah.
fuck
And they
a
were
pig.
never gonna kill the girl
And
anyway.
they were never going
There
to.
was a timer to release her after.
And then
then
people were
they got
so
the video on
hyped.
him.
Yeah, they were so hyped to see him fucking that
And then
pig.
when they weren't. And when they saw him,
No, but when they actually did see him, because he was like some shitty politician or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And the people fucking hated him. So they're like, hey, in like 2 weeks, we're going to release this video of your prime minister fucking a pig. So everyone's like, yeah! Everyone's selling t-shirts.
imagine
We're going to
that,
see this
bro?
guy fuck a pig!
Bruh, that's crazy. And then when he actually does it,
And
they
then
felt bad.
when they broadcasted, because it was live.
Yeah.
It was live.
'Cause-
So when they broadcasted it, everyone was like, I don't know.
Well, that's because they put the girl's life in danger. They
That's
said they'd kill the
crazy.
girl if he didn't have sex with the pig.
Dude.
And at the end, she was at home the whole time.
So hold on, this just reminded me of something. Okay, so you remember how I said Aleister Crowley? He had a religion of Crowleyism. Okay, so one thing that's interesting about Aleister Crowley, because this guy's really important. One thing about Aleister Crowley, so to give a little history on him, he was born in England. He started out as a Christian because of his father.
Yeah.
And he really respected his father. Actually, he wanted to be a pastor. When he was 11 years old, his father died. From that moment on, it was his mission to destroy Christianity.
Wow. Because,
Essentially.
Because Christianity took away his dad.
That's a
Wow.
theory. I would say that that's probably what it was. But
Mhm.
from that moment on, his mom would literally call him the Beast.
Oh,
He
wow.
would, his own mother would call him the Beast because he would do, and especially you got to remember, this is back in the 19.
Yeah.
Like he would jerk off in public. He would fuck
Holy
prostitutes.
shit.
He would do everything
He'd
in
do
his
what he
power
want, yeah.
to go against the norm.
Wow.
Right.
That's
So eventually,
nuts.
this guy gets into the Golden Dawn. See, like right there, you see the pyramid, his hands.
Oh,
right there.
right, yeah.
That's a picture of him in the Golden Dawn
Mhm.
right there. So this guy makes up the religion of Crowleyism. Now, Crowleyism, okay, so now one question you might have is, even when he's an adult, why does he hate Christianity?
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And the question is, like, why do upper echelon Masons hate Christianity? Christianity, or the ideas of Christianity, are completely opposite to their laws of nature. To give you an example, Christianity tells you to love your enemies.
Mhm.
That is completely alien to nature and the rules of nature. That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. When
So-
a lion is hungry for a gazelle, is he going to say, I'm going to love you first? No, he's going to kill that gazelle like it's nothing.
Also, it says the last shall be first. They are the opposite. These are the 1%. They are the first.
They are the first.
Yep.
Right.
So they don't want to be last.
Nope.
Now,
they
the
want
other
to
thing-
stay the first.
The final nail biter. Now, the way they look at Freemasons believe in the devil and they believe in God, but they look at it differently from Christians. They look at Lucifer as the savior, and they look at God as the tyrannical force that forces
Wow.
beings to do His will. So
Damn.
what they think that they believe that Lucifer sacrificed his seat, his position in heaven. Now Lucifer was second in charge in heaven.
Yes.
He was the greatest thing that God
Created.
right? They believe that he sacrificed his seat in heaven to save humanity by giving them the choice of freedom. Because what did Satan do when he came to earth? He tempted Eve with the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Because before, they were just doing what
Good
God
and evil
told them
gave
to
you
do.
a choice, right?
Satan gave them that choice.
Damn.
That's why they're called free.
Sir, that's
Masons.
dangerous.
Oh, that's different.
That's very dangerous.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, it is different.
That's
crazy.
Oh man.
What?
Wait, so we just be like a little ant farm?
Yeah. So they believe what their overall goal at the end of this, at the end of all of this, they want, because this ties back into the New World Order, the One World Government, the end times prophecies, all of that shit. This ties in with all of that. Basically, this is basically what's going on, right? So Lucifer had a war in heaven.
Yeah.
He got 1/3 or 33% of the angels to fight with him. Now, they take the L from Michael and his angels, right? So they duke it out, they get beat, and then God kicks them out of heaven. Okay? So God kicks them out of heaven. Then, so now, when he kicks them out of heaven, he doesn't just kick them out of heaven. They have a time limit, which means at some point they know that they're going to go into the lake of fire, which is eternal torment, day and night, forever. They will never get out of this, right? So now, these demons are faced with two options. I can just give up and accept my fate, or I can give God as much hell as physically possible before I go out.
Damn.
Now, as we saw with the war they had in heaven, they can't touch God personally because he's God.
Right.
And they know that. So, if you can't go after God, who do you go after?
The ones
His
he
precious
loves.
little
His
thing.
precious
We watched
little
it.
things.
We watched it.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
I completely forgot, but I remember.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to tie into the rituals real quick.
Okay.
Because one thing that did, because when I first heard of like rituals and satanic stuff like that, one thing that didn't make sense is, why are the rituals so like depraved and disgusting? Why do they do those things? And the reason why they do those things is because the demons, basically what rituals are is a trade between a demon and man. As simple as, to put it simply, it's a genuine trade. The demon gets something out of this exchange, and the human gets something out of this exchange. What the demon gets out of this exchange is the demon gets a human to willfully, out of their own free will and choice, do the most debauched thing in the presence of God. The most blasphemous thing.
Wow.
Because the most pure sacrifice is sacrificing an intelligent baby boy.
Yep.
And why would they sacrifice a child?
No sin.
Because it's the purest thing out there. It's like, how would you piss off God more than literally one of their rituals they do? They literally have a priest in a temple, and they have prostitutes. It's basically a fucking orgy with a priest and a prostitute with other people, all butt-ass naked, and they kill a child.
Oh, that's intense.
And they drink the blood.
Oh, that's intense.
That's really intense.
I swear to God.
Intense.
I swear to God.
Wow.
It's like, can you think of something more debauched than that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, the reason why the demons do that is because they get to basically, it's a slap in the face to God. It's their best way of getting back at him.
Before they burn.
Because they're already screwed.
Right.
There's
they're
no
fucked
forgiveness
anyway,
for the
Yeah.
for them.
Oh,
Now,
that's nuts.
the reason why the humans go about this is because one thing that's interesting is in the scriptural text of the Bible, we find out that who controls this world actually isn't, like, who controls this world is the devil. Now, in the overarching scheme of things, at the end of the day, God does control everything. But he has given the earth to Satan as his dominion for this time
for that
period.
time limit, right.
Now, if anybody doesn't believe that, you just have to go to the instance when Jesus was confronted with Satan in the desert. Now, he tempted him 3 times. And the third time he tempted him, he brought up that he can give Jesus all the nations. Now, the thing is, Jesus in the Bible is considered to be God. Now, why didn't Jesus say you don't own those things? They're not yours to give. He didn't say that. He said, you shall worship the Lord your God and serve him only. So that proves right there that Satan owns the earth.
The earth.
Yeah.
Because it originally was man's, but we gave that dominion over to Satan when man sinned.
Yeah.
Right.
So now Satan owns the earth. He gets to decide who gets money and who doesn't have money.
Who doesn't have money?
He is in control of the riches, wealth, and fame.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So
That's nuts.
they get fame, riches, glory, power because he controls the earth, and he
Right.
can give it to whoever he wants, and he can also take it from whoever he wants. And then he gets to basically smack God in the face from that.
Damn. But that's the thing. It's like, how long is that time period?
Well, remember, a day for us here could be 1,000
Yeah.
years for them.
That's true. 7 days equates to,
Yeah.
if it took God 7 days.
It makes a lot of sense because when you're
Like, what do you guys think about
Yeah.
everything I just said?
Well, because
No.
like I said, it makes a lot of sense because when I'm watching Supernatural, when I'm watching Lucifer, the show, when I'm watching all these
Constantine,
these biblical
Yeah.
things, it's like everything that you've just explained, they put those in those films, those TV shows,
right?
Yeah.
And you
like that.
see the
Subliminal
imagery,
message all the time.
Yeah.
All the
on
time.
your money and your media and all that shit like that. Like that's just paying tribute or.
It's
paying
literally
homage
on the
to-
back of your U.S. dollar bill,
Right,
the fucking
right.
pyramid. You know, also, the other thing that's interesting, on the back of the U.S. dollar, do I have my wallet on there? No, I don't. Okay, so if you actually pull up a photo of the U.S. dollar, now this is going to tie into the New World Order as well, too.
The pyramid.
Okay. Alright, so do the zoom in on the pyramid.
This one.
Okay, now, why is the pyramid not connected? Why is the eye not connected to the pyramid?
To the base of the pyramid.
Because the great work is not yet finished. The New World Order has not come into
Oh.
being. It's not finished yet.
Yeah, because we're building from the bottom to the
To
eye.
the eye.
That
makes sense.
Oh man.
And the mass majority of the population is on the first step. We are literally initiated into the first degree of
right.
what's the word? We are, what is it? Materialistic. Like basically we are in the first degree of initiation essentially. Because most of us care just about materialistic things.
Right. Yeah, we're literally at that. Human beings are literally at that stage right now.
We're literally, that's what we are. We are just consumers at this point.
Is that me?
Jeez. What is that?
That's not me.
What's that mean? Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Like,
Yeah.
damn,
That's
bro.
crazy, man.
So it's like the eye is.
So the eye is the okay, so the eye is, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, because everybody has a different interpretation.
Everybody has a different thing. So when it comes to the lower degrees of Freemasonry, the eye is the all-seeing eye of God, or the great art. They don't call him God; they call him the great architect, great architect of the universe.
Of
Yeah.
the universe.
Okay. So they say, like, because God is omnipotent, all-knowing, all-seeing.
all-seeing.
So, like, no matter what you do, He sees what you're doing. So act rightly and
Accordingly.
accordingly. Which again is why you see the outer core of Masonry being upstanding good people, because they have knowledge of something is out there that will judge them and is watching them, which is why they're good people. Now, to the higher degrees of Masonry, it's the eye of Lucifer. Because Lucifer gives them light, or the light of knowledge, just like he did with Adam and Eve. Because God didn't give them the knowledge of evil, Lucifer gave them the knowledge
Give
of
them
evil.
knowledge of evil. Damn,
That's crazy,
bro.
man.
That's. Jeez. That's fucked. That's fucked. Like, I feel so tiny in all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Like
I
a
feel so nothing.
Ant meat boot,
Like, I feel.
basically.
Like, dude, not only that, you know how they look at, you know how the higher Masons, again,
That's crazy.
we gotta separate the inner core from the outer core. This is
Yeah.
not the outer
Yeah,
core,
the
which
outer
is
cores are good.
literally like 90% of Masons. The inner core of Masons, and this is coming from Albert Pike himself, they literally look at us as the vile multitude.
That's crazy.
You remind me of One Piece, bro.
The vile multitude.
Fucking the.
Just like those one
Yeah,
guys.
the
they look at us just
Celestials.
like that.
Yeah.
The
Just like
Gorosei.
that.
Yeah.
You talking
Just like
You're
that.
The
talking about the
Celestials,
Gorosei.
yeah.
Oh, the Celestials or the
The-
Gorosei?
The Celestials, the
Yeah.
Tenryu Bito. The Celestials.
That's
That's
crazy.
fucking
They think they are a higher
crazy,
species.
bro. And that's what I was gonna get into. I'm like, are they just like on a different plane of existence.
They're on a bro. Like a dead ass
Like,
different plane of
what
existence.
the fuck, man?
Yeah, they're so righteous they don't even want to breathe regular air.
Yes.
See, it's shit like that. Like, you just feel so helpless sometimes. It's like, okay, yeah, I've reached this stage, but there's so much more to reach the pinnacle. Like, there's so much I have to give up
Yeah.
to reach the pinnacle of what?
Well, it's like the Netflix show that I got you into, Inside Job.
How so?
All the theories, all the sacrificing, all the keeping the elites.
Oh, Josh Rowland. I think he knows something.
Have you seen the show, Inside
No.
Job?
What is it?
So, you know how, like, with Rick and Morty, they kind of, like, they'll do, like, little quibbits of, like shit, the you know, different organizations don't want you to know. Like, they'll drop, like,
The lizard people,
as a passing
Hollow Earth,
joke.
all that stuff like
Oh,
that.
Yeah, all that shit. So, like, with...
Simpsons be doing that.
Yeah, kind of like that, but this show,
They protect the
it
secrets
literally,
from coming
they
out.
just focus on all
and
of it.
with the people
But
in the
it
robes.
it has a fun spin to it, but you know, they really touch on a lot of stuff like that. But like in the grand scheme of this shit, it's like, fuck.
A lot of
You
it
know what
makes
I'm saying?
sense, but again, too, when you slap conspiracy theory on it, like you said the last.
Like I want to feel like I have free will, you know.
But it's like, do you really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like I truly, in my heart of hearts, want to believe in the best in humanity and want to believe that I have free will. But then you tell me, well, Satan has.
that this is Satan playing the
This
entire
is,
time.
yeah, this is Satan's realm this entire time. So it's like, but then on the other hand, it's like,
But then think about it, dude. Think about, because, like, one thing, I remember one question I've always gotten, like, whenever I have, like, a debate with somebody who doesn't believe in God, and they'll ask me, like, different questions, one question I've always gotten constantly is, if God is really real, and God is a God of love, why is the earth so fucking horrible? And the answer is because the king of this world, at this point right now,
Is Satan.
is Satan.
yeah,
And the reason why it is because we gave it to him.
right. But it's like, because I'm living in this existence, and what you just told me, that he gave us the option of evil.
Yeah.
So now we know what good is.
Yes.
But we don't know what all good is.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
So then you gotta think, okay, so then the question is, so this is another thing that's interesting, right? So then the question is, like, what is good and what is evil,
Yep.
Right.
right?
Because people quantify them differently.
My definition of what good is abiding by the laws of God, the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
That would be my definition of being good.
That's
Following-
straightforward. right.
Absolute,
Right.
yeah.
Absolute
Following
good.
his laws and his
Mhm.
will.
Absolutely.
Because, in my opinion, everybody outside of God is evil.
Mhm.
God is the only force of good, which is why God is the only force that also has the right to judge.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he's the only one that doesn't have shit in his closet.
Facts.
So I think that doing his will is good, and anything outside of that is evil. That's what I would base
Okay.
my moral compass on, good and evil.
Okay. No, yeah, that's pretty absolute.
No, yeah, that's straight.
Because the
forward
Ten
question, yeah.
Commandments are absolute. Like
Yeah.
that, it's like, who's gonna say, well, actually,
It was engraved.
One thing that's interesting about the 10 Commandments too, you guys ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones?
Yes.
Pull this
No.
up. Pull this up for you.
I remember they defaced them. I think
Bro, they blew it up.
they blew it up.
They blew
yeah.
it up. Look at the first rule.
Georgia Guidestones.
And nobody knows who blew it up.
It was
right
a
now
time
either.
capsule. They fucking blew that shit up. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
What are the Georgia time stones?
All right, hold on. Let me.
Click
go
one
to-
or we can read it.
No time capsule found.
And why was that? Why did they blow it up?
So I think the reason why they blew it up is because of the rules they had on it. The first rule on these Georgia Guidestones is, rule number 1 is maintain humanity's population at 500 million
Mm-hmm.
to keep it in perfect balance with nature.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
If we actually were to enact that, we would have to wipe out about 95% of the population.
Damn.
Bro,
There's 7 billion of us.
Bro.
They want 500
Huh?
million.
That's
today is
genocide.
8 billion.
Today's age,
Today
like bro,
made 8
even like
billion.
97%,
Bro,
Yeah.
or like 98.
today made
Wait, there it
8
is. I think that's the
billion.
first rule. Can they read that?
Maintain humanity
Under 500 million.
500 million in perpetual gods and
Who
nature.
who wrote that?
So, who wrote this
Yeah.
was an anonymous group and a guy with the pseudonym of R.C. Christian bought that Georgia Guidestones and set it up there. Now, he has ties to the Rosicrucian order, which also has ties all the way back to Masons.
Did they write them in different languages?
Yes, they wrote them in 4 languages. It's in Greek, it's in ancient...
And they blew up all the stones.
They blew up the one in Georgia. There's one in England, too.
Oh, that's nuts. Oh, okay, so this is a global thing.
Yeah, dude, this is an international organization.
Oh,
This is
oh,
worldwide.
that's
That's crazy.
what is going on, bro? It's like
But that's the thing, like you and a lot of people always say, like these things are happening right in front of us, under our noses. It's just no one's paying attention because everybody's.
but it's like
Everybody's-
indifference. Like
Yeah, no one gives a
indifferent-
shit.
No one gives a shit because it's
like
like,
you're saying.
all right, let's try.
Unless it affects me in my life, I'm not going to pay attention.
know, the
to
That
Matrix-
is how
yeah.
everybody acts.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there.
You know what the Matrix
I will
taught
not
me?
act
Yeah.
until it affects me.
One guy tried to overthrow the Matrix. How many times? And at the end,
every 100 years, there's
there's the one,
every 100 years, they explained in
the third one,
the
right?
fourth one, the shitty one.
No, I thought it was. No, it was in the first one
Oh,
where
the first
he
one.
went to.
So every 100 years, there's the one.
He's like, you're not the first one. Neo.
You're not the first one. So
like,
every 100 years.
So fucked.
That
Yeah.
was
Figuring
fucked.
out.
So
That's
because he thought he's like,
fucked.
oh my god, I'm the one that's gonna save everybody.
I'm gonna
No,
say-
every
no.
100 years there's the one, but none of the ones were able to save anybody from the Matrix. He was literally the first of many.
But it's like, you see what I'm saying? But that's its own subliminal. It's like, look at how many times someone tried.
Just because you're the main character of your story doesn't mean
You could be the main character.
Dude,
Uh-oh, brain blast. Got this man thinking now.
I don't even know, man.
And now Brooke is the one that told us that, because she basically said, when we invited her here, she basically said, you can be the main character of your story, and I could be the side character of I could be the side character of your story and you're the main character, but in my mind I'm the main character of my story and you're the side character.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
Right. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, with stuff like this, it's like
Oh, dude, there's another thing too. So this ties back to God.
mhm.
So that Altian Childs, he also described how the basically the appearance or the coming of Jesus basically put a fucking nail in the coffin to the religion of Masonry, or really Satanism.
Yeah.
Because one thing that's interesting is, after, because regardless if you believe in Jesus or not, during that time period when he was said to exist, Rome became Christian.
Yeah.
Now, Rome was basically America. They were the influencers of the world.
Yeah.
Majority of people got rid of their pagan practices. They got rid of witchcraft. They would burn books. Because even years later, the witchcraft trials came after that. That's
Yeah.
how much people were paranoid against
Right,
witchcraft and
against
Satanism.
If you die, you're a witch. If you survive, you belong to Satan.
But before Jesus showed up, that fear wasn't there. That paranoia
Okay, I
wasn't
get
there.
You. I
You
got
get what I'm saying?
Right, I got you.
Because regardless of if you believe in him or not, his ideas and his teachings are completely antithetical to the ideas of Masonry and their teaching.
And their
It's the
teaching,
polar
yeah.
opposite.
Right.
So,
Damn.
That's trippy as hell, man. So, like, what certain extent do you believe in the effects of, like, magic? Like, in different cultures? Like,
I think magic has such a profound effect. I think magic is basically think about it like this, right?
wait, before you answer that,
Okay.
would you consider the miracles that, Moses or Jesus did? Was that magic?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
because
that kind of
because magic is like, I feel like, again, we don't have any. I feel like majority of us don't have a correct concept of the idea of magic, specifically because of movies like Disney,
right,
and things like that.
It's skewed it.
What I think magic is I think it's a very simple process. Like, to give you an example, imagine if you're building a program, okay? You're building a video game, okay? You're putting in lines of code that those video game characters are never going to see.
Right.
But those lines of code have actual effects and change things in the video game world of these characters. Now, you can add a box out of nowhere. To you, it's not out of nowhere. You saw where you got the box, you put it in, you inserted the code, you know exactly how it was done. In their eyes, a box just appeared. That's fucking magic.
That is. Okay.
True.
Okay.
True. I agree.
So basically what I think is going on is, I think that demons or angels or God live in a higher dimension. And they operate on our earth just like a human would operate on a computer.
On a
fourth or fifth.
Right.
So to them it's just it's common line of code. But to us it's like, holy shit. Like, dude,
it appeared. It's
appeared.
like a fourth dimensional being.
It's
in a
just them
three-dimensional world.
moving things in the unseen realm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, what's your stance on, like, magic and stuff. Like, what would you consider? But I wholeheartedly agree. Absolutely. It's just a different space or a different realm.
Exactly.
In which
and it's hard.
Right.
Well, like he said,
Right.
it's like a fourth dimensional being in a three-dimensional world. We wouldn't understand it, but of course they would.
Right.
And I think that's also why the only way you can access magic is you have to have these beings help you. Because in actuality, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Only they know.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
Do you think humans, like, in terms of, chemistry and physics, we can develop our own quantifiable version of magic, like fucking with dark matter or gravity and
CRISPRs.
shit? Like,
I don't think we could. Okay, I don't think that could ever be a reality, because I believe that man is working together with demons already. So I believe that we don't have the chance to prove ourselves if we could do something like that, because I believe that from the beginning of time,
every creation
like,
has
look
been
at the
made.
pyramids. How do you think How do you think they came into existence?
I gotcha. So like everything we create, every advancement
was assisted,
we make is within the realm of Satan's rule.
Because if we look so one book that, now this is controversial this is a controversial book in the Christian and not Catholic, but the Christian
philosophy text.
Basically, group of like the Christian thought, right?
Yeah.
So there's a group of people who think that the Book of Enoch is heretical and should have nothing to do with the Bible. There's other people who are like, look, it talks about Enoch in the Bible, like Peter and Paul both mention it, so maybe we should actually look at it. So there's debate. Now, what the Book of Enoch teaches is, it says that during the time of, this was before the flood and everything.
Yeah.
Basically, there was a group of watchers, or angels, 200 of them. And their job was to watch the earth and report back to God basically what was going on. Now, the angels had an eye for the daughters of man and wanted them as wives.
Yeah.
Now, the Bible actually does have a verse, and it talks about how it says the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were beautiful and took them as wives. And then the Nephilim showed up.
Yeah.
Now,
The superhumans.
what the fuck is the Nephilim? They
Half
are
angel, half human.
the giants, the demigods,
all that
the
shit.
half man, half deity, half god.
That's why you have like
Hercules.
these epics of Gilgamesh, Alexander the Great, motherfuckers
Like,
that.
Beowulf.
I genuinely believe these are real stories.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, there's
think
always
these are-
truth to every story. Beowulf, all
it's
that.
It's literally written in a tablet.
It's Gilgamesh, the oldest story of man.
ancient
Now,
Mesopotamia.
did you know that Noah and
were born?
the God of the Bible, or the Christian Bible, is in the story of Gilgamesh?
Yeah, he was born. He was born I think in
They
somewhat
just called them different names.
different names, right?
Gilgamesh actually was so scared of a flood that he went to
To
Noah.
Noah,
and asked
old
him
Noah,
what to do.
OG Noah,
Yep.
old
Yeah.
guy Noah. Yeah, and that was like Noah was already like 800 years old by then.
Like I always
You
say,
see what
there's
I'm saying?
always truth to every story. It's just how far do they skew it away so
That's
you just
nuts.
think it is a story. But there's always truth to every book that's been ever written from history. There's always truth to it.
Damn, man.
Now another thing too. Now tell me what you guys think of this, because this could, since I do come from a Christian foundation, I definitely 100% could be totally biased with my thinking on this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I want you guys to tell me what you think. Now I think one of the biggest things that Freemasons or Satanism has done it has attacked the social morality structure that Christianity had set in America,
established.
in the Western world. Because if you think about it, what are the things that are pushed so hard right now? Gay rights, transgenderism.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Those are, and abortion.
Yep.
Now, regardless of what you believe, those three things are completely antithetical to
What
Christianity.
right.
Yeah, because most Christians are against it. So basically, the entire world or the internet attacks them on it. So they're like, well, if God is all knowing, all powerful, and all loving, why doesn't He allow us to do what we want?
So another thing too. Now, I think that basically, like, all of us in the population, at least in America, have all been initiated into the first degree. Now, the reason why I say that is because the majority of us are pushing these ideas and agendas when it comes to, because, like, to give you an example, they have stories of these parents brought their children
The American Dream.
to a, what was it? What do you call those? It's a strip club, but it's like dudes that dress up as girls.
Drag queens.
Drag queens.
Yes, I heard about that.
There's many stories now where parents are literally taking their children to drag queen shows. Also, there is this one kid, his name is Timmy something, but this kid's like 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They dress this kid in little like ballerina clothes, and he dances for grown-ass men.
I saw that video.
For grown-ass men,
I know
bro.
what he's talking about.
This is a real thing.
Yeah.
And the thing that's crazy is if you talk about it and say that that's evil, which it is, you're evil.
You're the evil because
Yeah.
you put them.
Because you're not inclusive.
Right.
You're not, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the
There
problem-
is no good and evil.
Yeah.
There is no right and
But
wrong.
the problem is not the child; it's the parents.
It's
It
the parent.
reminds me of what was it? That one movie that got like crazy heat on Netflix with the dancers or some shit like that.
Dude, cuties.
Cuties.
Oh, because they took actual 11-year-old girls and they
They
were
were
saying.
strippers in
they
the
were-
movie,
Yeah,
bro.
and they literally said this is based off a true story. So they said people.
That's true.
They said people who didn't watch the movie automatically jumped on what everybody else on social media said, but there was a lot of people that actually watched the film that said this is factually accurate, and if you actually watch the film, it actually is really good, and it actually explains what happened to these young girls during that film. And it said, why would you get these these adults like they do on the TV shows that are supposed to portray kids or teenagers and then put them in the film?
And then put them in the...
Yeah, and then they said they didn't, and then a woman even commented saying they didn't even put them in any explicit situations, or they actually showed them doing certain things. So it's like people who jumped on the bandwagon and were upset about the film never watched it. They were just reacting. They're reactionaries, and
I can't watch it.
I hate reactionaries.
It's so disgusting.
I'm not gonna watch
Yeah.
it.
And the
I
thing
can't
is,
watch
bro,
it.
like, how did it even get to the point of filming?
Yeah.
How did it even get to that point?
I'm not gonna.
How did it get past? How did somebody bring that up? Because at some points there was a group of people that sat in a fucking boardroom, and somebody brought up that idea, and everybody in that boardroom said that was a good idea.
Yeah,
or
that's a great
majority
idea.
of
That's exactly
people.
what
That's how we
happened.
can get a rise
Well,
out of
that's how I
everybody.
feel about, and I know some people are gonna hate me for this, but it's how I feel about that one show on HBO, where it's like, who's the writer in this, right? I'm gonna use adults to portray teens, and then having them partake in
Sex.
Debauchery, bro.
debauchery. Like, in my mind, I can't sit down and be like, oh, this is interesting. I'm watching fictional teenagers.
Because it's not.
Like, that's
Oh, you're
supposed
so...
to imagine them. Being
Like, that
teenagers,
throws me off. What is the
Or
name
like
of that
another
show?
thing too that you see, this is a little off topic, but it's not. But like, notice how also in animes, how many times do you see a literally they'll have characters that are supposed to be 300 years
Lowly?
old,
A lowly character?
but they
That's what
look like
call
a
them,
fucking
yeah.
6-year-old, and they
Yeah.
sexualize them.
A lowly character
What's the
because
name of that vampire? That show with the witch? Something the something witch. The little girl.
with the vampire.
No,
Are you talking about Bakemonogatari?
no.
Where, well, the vampire still, that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
example.
that was
She
another
was
one.
like 1,000-year-old vampire, but was literally like
Like a child.
a child, and she was making sexual advances on him. But the thing that was even weirder too was the character was already portrayed as someone that had a weird lowly fetish.
It's just like, and then you also look at Disney Channel. Like, how many times do you see?
Oh wait.
How many moms in Disney shows are sexualized? Like animated moms.
I got a better one for you. Nickelodeon.
Ah!
Yeah, Dan Schneider, baby. What you mean? He had that foot fetish, bro.
Dude,
He
you're
had
right.
that foot fetish.
Yeah.
Dan
Or-
Schneider.
Demi
Oh,
Lovato.
from iCarly.
You guys remember Demi Lovato?
Yep.
What happened to her? She literally came out and said that she got raped and stuff like that by these people when she was a fucking kid.
When she was a kid, yeah.
The guy on Home Alone 2 also came out as well too and said that.
Yeah, he did.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay
Culkin.
Culkin.
Yeah.
Also, one of the guys on the Goonies, I can't remember his name, but he even came out and said that literally the biggest problem of Hollywood is pedophilia.
It's
He said it
pedophilia.
is and always will be pedophilia.
That's what happened with Drew Barrymore when she started in E.T. as a chick.
When
as
she
a
started
child.
E.T. Dude, it was so weird because I was looking into the whole Dan
And
Schneider
that goes
thing.
back to Kanye saying a lot of people go missing.
Yeah, that's facts.
So he keeps making noise. They can't touch it, and that's the only reason why. So he rather have his life and be portrayed as crazy than to get killed and then say, "Oh."
But that's
it's
the
because he
thing.
committed-
Regardless of how much spotlight, you're never too big to get axed, bro.
But that's
Yeah,
what I'm
no.
saying.
They clap like throughout the beginning of time. They've been clapping presidents. You know what I'm
They
saying?
clapped John F. K. If they
Clap-
can get him.
They clapped his whole family.
They clapped his whole family
It's
when
a-
America was actually doing good.
Good, yeah.
And
Well,
they
even
still
his
clapped
even
his
his
ass.
even his granddaughter 2 years ago died in a plane crash.
Dude, they capped Jeffrey Epstein.
They kept, bro,
Oh, yeah.
in broad day.
In broad daylight.
In broad day.
After all that happened, and nothing happened, dude.
In broad day. Come on, who's finna touch
They
bro?
Bro,
They capped the judge. No, they,
they
capped the judge.
judge's
Son.
and husband
Yo, some dude just showed up in a FedEx uniform, bro.
and
Yeah.
shot him
He
up.
shot him up. Come on,
and,
man.
and then you gonna say this is crazy. This
What
is not
the
real
fuck?
life.
Oh, I'm gonna
Come
blow your
on,
mind.
man.
I'm gonna blow your mind even more. Ghislaine Maxwell, when they found her and she went to testify under court. Notice how that wasn't on anywhere.
Anywhere.
You didn't see it on TV. You didn't see it
Anywhere.
anywhere. But you know what was going on in the news at the exact same time?
Yeah.
Literally the exact same time was Joe Rogan saying the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they
Exact
focused on.
same time,
So
yeah.
that's what they focus
Yeah.
So that is what they do. They constantly, like, something serious will go on, and they'll come out with a stupid story like the Johnny Depp case.
Oh, so you
Right.
get
Get
your
everybody-
attention.
So you focus on stupidity when actuality is happening, and nobody gives a shit.
Perfect example. Like when he was looking up what was the biggest news, people were focusing on more on the Johnny
Depp was trending more,
than
yeah.
they were the war.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Jeff, go back on the.
And that's why
That's
they call
crazy.
us the vile multitude. They think we're stupid.
We're
because, like,
stupid.
honestly, if you think about it, they're not wrong.
Who's the guy that I usually see on TikTok? Oh, I don't think it's the guy, but it's like a YouTube video, and I've seen the clips where it's like he uses it's an animation where he uses the shadow figure to like kind of explain the structure of how like the elites are benefiting off of your backs and how they use distractions to just
No, you're
keep
right. I don't know what
milking
you're
you.
talking about, but like you're
It's
right.
it's so cool, dude. If I find it, I will definitely DM that to you. But I've seen a couple of other videos. They really get into like every segment of society where we're just zombies. They're like, yeah, this
like,
is
literally zombies.
this is
bro.
why you're a
That's
zombie
crazy.
here.
And it's like you can either choose to be an NPC or you can choose to break.
But
away
it's
from it
like
and try to be
you
aware.
break away, but you still have to partake in it.
You do.
Like that's the thing. It is. It is.
It
But-
is what it is.
Dude, this is what's crazy though, right? So, okay, so I'm gonna bring up Andrew Tate in this.
Mhm.
So one of the things it talks about in Revelations, in the end times,
Mhm.
it mentions that there will be a point where everybody has to take the mark of the beast. Now, the mark of the beast, when you take it, you seal your fate.
Mhm.
If you have the mark of the beast, you are going to hell. So you're going to be burning in torment with the demons,
And the demons, yeah.
right? Now, if you don't take that mark, the Bible states that you will not be able to buy, sell, or trade anything. Now, we look at Andrew Tate, right? Notice how every type of, like everything that we use, society-based, is all becoming digitalized,
Right.
Yep.
right? To buy food, they're trying to make it with, like if you want to buy, like number one, they're trying to get rid of dollars.
Right. Tap
So they're
pay.
They're trying to make it
All
all
that.
on cards
Yeah.
and all digital.
Like you said, the reset.
And notice how with Andrew Tate, they banned him off of... So imagine if the dollar doesn't exist and everything is digital, right? If they do what they did to Andrew Tate when everything's digital,
Oh, yeah.
you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade
They
anything.
can blackball you from everything. Oh, that's you. Your user, whatever. This is your code. This is your at whatever. Your
Boom,
mark.
gone.
Gone. You're blacklisted from the internet, bro.
And like that to me is like, because I've always really thought about the mark of the beast and like how this will actually become a reality.
Mm-hmm.
And never once in my life did it ever seem like it was possible for man to be able to do something like that until crypto showed up.
Yep. That's true. It's
That's
easier,
right.
easier to track and control.
That's facts.
And then you start
that's facts.
thinking about it.
Cryptography, that
Yeah.
changed everything.
And then you think about it, and you think about the inflation that's been going crazy since 2008 to the point where, like, you cannot. There's no way to believe that politicians at this point are trying to fix the issue.
No.
Because the amount of trillions that they're pulling out,
Yeah.
that they're just creating out of nowhere, is just making the problem worse to speed up the process to get us into
right.
the digital age.
Here's the thing. After 2008, they just bought themselves more time.
Did you know who bailed out the banks in 2008?
The government, right? Yeah.
BlackRock.
BlackRock.
Oh, BlackRock.
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 BlackRock came and bought everybody out.
So the bill that they wrote, they didn't use it for.
They didn't use it.
They
And they did it all behind closed doors.
Yeah.
BlackRock came
That
in.
was the cover up though.
BlackRock came in, bought them out, and owns Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
They
and
own
90% of the properties out there.
So the question is, the bill that they wrote to bail everybody out, what did they do with that money?
I think
Whatever the fuck they want, Jack.
Yep.
Dude, I think 2008 was the moment America's sovereignty ended, because that's when I feel like once Larry Fink came in and bought up all, because that he owned all the banks.
Mm-hmm.
Once you own the money, you control everything.
Yep. Control the money, control the world.
You control.
You
the
don't
world.
think.
And I think that what's going on is because this ties into the World Economic Forum along with China.
Right.
I think basically what's going on is politicians, regardless if you're Democrat or Republican, I think they've seen the writing on the
On the
wall since
wall.
2008.
Absolutely.
And that's why we see Biden making deals with China and things like that in Ukraine, because they already realized that the sovereignty of America is over. And they're making deals with the World Economic Forum and China, who are becoming the new superpower.
Yep.
Because if you notice, the World Economic Forum is basically the new America. They control almost everything now.
Right.
They are in ties with the United Nations. They are in ties with the CCP. They're in ties with every single country. Goes to these summits annually, every year. So I think that
You don't think. Well, yeah. That's true.
I think our leaders have sold us out.
That I believe. But
And I
you
think-
don't think that the U.S. could still hold some sort of influence in this globalistic era, like this peak?
The reason why, no, because I think that they'll get more power in siding with the World Economic Forum. Because I think that the America, like its true core ideology, its constitution and amendments and rights, limits their power significantly. But if they tie up with the World Economic Forum, they get to do things that the CCP is doing to their own people.
Whatever they want.
Whatever the fuck they want.
Because they limited themselves based off of what they wrote in the Constitution.
So,
if they go
wait,
against the
They're
Constitution.
gaining more power.
So, you know, it's kind of trippy, right? You know, I always used the idea that each state is like a mini country.
Yeah.
And then we're separate from the federal government.
We're the United States, but
Like,
each state is a country.
Is their own little country, you know, with their own senate,
Yeah.
their house,
Governing
and
their
all
own laws.
governing their own laws. What if this entire time the Fed was like, I'm about to pull an okey doke on all 50 states and sell you out? Like, what if the Fed was operating separately from the states?
Damn.
And the states that co-signed, you know, are the ones.
Well, the Fed is a private corporation,
like the federal government?
right? No,
It's an entity. It's
I thought it was a private thing. The Fed.
A necessary evil.
I didn't think it was actually part. Well, look it up.
Yeah, let's
Fact
look it
check me on that. I thought it was privately owned.
Okay.
Because they give our government money and we have to pay interest on it.
Federal,
So
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Right?
It's checked out for me.
Let's see.
Arizona is composed of 3 district branch, legislative, executive, and yeah, we know that.
No, look up just Fed. I think it's getting confused.
The Fed.
Don't confuse Google, Jeff.
Federal Reserve
Board.
System.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Central bank.
And long-term interest rates in the U.S. economy. Because where do all our dollars feed into? The Federal Reserve.
Yep.
The Federal Reserve is the one who's always controlled. Like, yeah, we could build an economy, but we all answer to the dollar, and the dollar is,
Absolute.
you know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's circulated by the Federal Reserve. So, yeah, we're 50 independent countries and states' rights and what all, but
But at the end of the day, whatever they say goes.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So maybe they have a different mission on what they want to project the United States globally versus what the independent states want. The independent states want to focus on us, on our population.
Yeah, that's why. That's another reason why I think that, like, I think this whole New World Order agenda and everything like that. I think that, because most of the times you'll hear that as conspiracy talk, but I think these politicians, I think they understand this stuff completely. I think they understand exactly what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah.
The reason why we now see such a disconnect between the people and the politicians is because they genuinely don't give a shit
They don't?
about you.
No.
They
Indifference.
They do not.
Well, again,
give a shit
too,
about you.
like when the midterms happen, and then they're having these, and the Republicans and the Democrats are having these debates. We're like, Jeff, where'd this Democrat come from? I said, I've never seen you before, never seen you on TV, don't know what you have done, don't know who you've helped, but all of a sudden you're out here
You know,
talking
What's
to
your
the
LinkedIn
people.
page?
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
but you know what blows my
Exactly.
You see that LinkedIn
That's what
page?
I'm saying.
You know what will always blow my mind? That Charlie Chris was on that fucking ballot. That's crazy.
Bro.
That's how you know Dems gave up on Florida.
Yeah.
They're like, that's how you know they knew they weren't getting Florida. They're like, yeah, fucking Charlie Chris, the Republican turned independent turned Democrat.
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah. Also voted worst governor in America.
Exactly.
In 2000.
I remember you kept repeating that 2 years
Oh, that
ago.
was
The worst
amazing.
governor in
When that
America.
came out on national news, it was like, yeah, Charlie Chris has been rated the
worst governor in America.
Yeah, okay, good luck with that, bro.
Yeah,
That's who you brought forward.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like they're nowhere
They
to
don't
be
give a
found until
They don't
the
give a
voting
fuck.
period comes.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's like,
on
who
you're
are
on a
you?
different agenda. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? And that's facts. That's
But-
facts. Yeah, man. Like I see this shit, and it's like, fuck, man.
You see it, but it's like, damn,
It's so big.
it is.
Pause. You
It's enormous, dude. It literally covers the whole world. Like, it's so crazy to think that, and like, this is what makes it even more interesting, right? Like, imagine. Okay. Like, if you were a group of people, right, and you wanted to control, like, the entire world, right? How would you go about that?
Fear.
Fear, right?
Yeah.
So, one thing that's interesting about...
Yeah,
so,
you're right.
this is one thing that's kind of neat. So, majority of people, I believe, don't believe that something like that can happen is because they themselves in their own lives, they don't see people working together at all.
Right.
No.
What we see is we see Republican, Democrat, we see black, white, we see female, we see male.
Yeah.
We see constant division,
Yeah.
constant fighting and bickering.
Dualities and shit.
It's
like that.
constantly, no matter where we look. And that's why I think that is another reason why people can't even conceive of people being able to work together, especially in different countries.
Yeah, we preach unity, but we never practice it.
It's like you don't even see it in your own family. So how can you
Right.
believe that it happens globally?
Exactly.
Ain't no love, bro.
Yeah.
There's no love.
No, I agree.
Ain't no love, bro.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's
So
crazy.
how do you think that, like, how do you get this kind of information out there to where people don't look at you like psychotic? You know,
You know
what
the
I'm saying?
sad thing about
Is there any way to explain this to people without?
They just have to be open-minded.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's
open-minded
That's
to
the
the
sad thing
idea.
about knowledge. You
Yeah.
have to seek.
and
to
seek and you shall find.
Yeah.
They-
You have to
open.
Right.
The door and
Yeah,
everything
know?
open.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they have to want to listen
to
and
want to.
be very open-minded. Like us, my brother and I were hearing this, and we're like, it makes sense. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it
But
makes
I
sense.
understand.
I understand it.
Like,
Yeah,
I understand.
we have
Follow
to
it.
like we have to navigate around this, but it's like
yeah,
if-
and that's what fucking sucks because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I believe this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, for
But
real,
it's
for
like-
real. Yeah, I
I
agree.
still got like 60 more years. I better figure at least some of this shit out.
Exactly, so I
You
can
know what I'm
navigate
saying?
around
But
it.
yeah, so I could get to where I need to get.
So, like, another thing is, like, now this is a little off topic, but, like, I've heard this from a lot of people my age, and a lot of people will say that there's no way to know, like, what happens after death. There's no way to know for sure if there's a God or if there isn't.
Mhm.
And it's like, are you really sure? Because the
Right.
thing is, like, when I'm studying and I'm looking at these people, like the Masons and different pagan religions and stuff like that, to me, I'm fully convinced that these people are fully convinced that they know exactly what's going on.
What's
Yeah, they
going
do.
on? Right.
Exactly what's and they can show you and prove to you through evidence and
Right.
show you actually how it's done.
Yeah, if you practice what you preach for millennia, generations, then it exists. You're doing something right to continue
Yeah.
the world
If
power
it's
and the
something
balance.
that
and all.
embodies your entire soul, you
Yeah.
put your soul into it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna believe
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah, and the other thing too is it's like
I don't fuck with demons.
like so many people won't even like begin to look into any of this stuff because they just think that the life is so complicated that nobody knows. Nobody knows the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no truth. It's
Right.
not like nobody knows, but it's like that's not true. There is truth.
There is
It is
truth.
out there, and you can find it.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing, and you're not willing to look. That's why you will never find it, and you think that there is none because you won't even take the first step.
Well,
That's right.
it's like Constantine. He was able to see dead people, and he took his life. But when he came back, he was trying to buy his way back into heaven because he saw, not because he believed. But like
yeah,
you said,
he saw. Yeah,
He saw.
he saw. He didn't believe.
So-
So it's like, oh, that's tough.
So again, too, like you said, it's in front of our faces. We just choose not to pay attention to it or believe in it because it doesn't affect our daily lives.
That's facts.
So
That's right.
until
But it's like, let's say, like, how do you envision a world where everyone's enlightened?
when it ends, and
Like
you see the
what-
4 horsemen, the ground crack,
Yeah,
demons come out.
yeah.
Like, dude, that's what
facts.
That's what I think
That's
this is coming to,
facts.
man.
Yeah.
I think it's coming to the point where, because when I was younger, dude, I used to think that there would be a way to get everybody on the same page in some type of positive way.
Mhm.
But what I see, bro, the way the world's going right now, we're all going to be under one ideology, but it's not going to be one for humanity.
No,
It's not going to be a good ideology.
No, it's not.
absolutely.
I
It's going to
agree.
be the same system that the Nazis tried to put in place
Right.
but failed.
But globally.
But globally.
Right. Because with, like I said, cryptography, it's no borders. It's borderless. Your ID will go with you wherever you go. You know?
But not only that, I think one of the most dangerous things that especially the Western world is attacking is morality.
Oh, it's
Like, we have to get, like, we can't continue living and not being able to agree on what's right and what's wrong. Like, this is a serious problem because now we're at the point where, especially in the transgender stuff, we have little boys dressing in ballerinas dancing for 30-year-old men. Like, people don't realize how far this transgender movement has pushed.
Yeah.
We're at that point. These kids are worth $70,000 a pop for surgeries. And it's
Damn.
experimental surgery too. So they can't sue the doctors.
And then half of them, well, some of them decide to detransition because they
all
realize
right.
I was underage.
All right. Let me challenge you on this.
Okay.
So, at what point does the free will to be transgender, even if they are in some form indoctrinated?
18.
And
There's no excuse for allowing anybody under the age of 18 to decide whether they are a boy or a girl.
autonomously.
Yeah.
Okay.
That to me is crazy.
Yeah, I would say wait till they're
It's the
18.
same way, like
Like
with any type of, like when you take your kid to a doctor, you have to approve certain things.
honestly, dude, not
Right.
even 18 but 21. Because honestly, we don't even let people drink until they're 21, but we're going to let
Yeah.
them cut their dick off
Hey, well,
at 10.
they can fight a war though. They can fight a war though. They could take a life. You see what I'm saying?
But even then, but like
Mom's here.
I think Mom's back.
You want to open the door for him?
You've been excited, Bruce.
That man bolted out
Yeah,
of
I'm
there.
telling you.
That's nuts. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
But no, I don't.
So you'd say 21?
I would say, well, even the same thing. I think that military, you should be 21 too. So I would say
Right.
cuff it at 21. Because, like, dude, I'm not even going to lie to you, man.
Because they were smoking at 21.
Because I'm 21 at this point right now. And, dude, when I was 18, 19, fucking idiot, bro. Complete moron, bro. Complete idiot.
Because your mindset is different. You learn a lot.
You just don't
Yeah,
know.
you
You
don't
don't
know.
even know what you don't know.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
But you think, and that's the problem too, is when you're at that age, you don't even know what you don't know, but you think you know.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you think that you know more than people who are older.
Yeah, teenage always think they
Because
know
you
more.
still have that
That rebellious.
rebellious as a teenager, but you mentally understand that as an adult, you think you can conquer whatever you know, and then you try to see ahead of what you think you know.
And that's why I think it's kind of, and that's why I personally think it's even more evil. At least the physicians that go about these procedures and try to convince these kids into these procedures, because it's like, what are you really trying to do here?
Right.
Are you really trying to save this kid, or is it the fact that this kid's $70,000?
Right.
What's really?
It's like, are we tackling the issue of gender dysphoria, or let me not say an issue, but the
Mental.
the diagnosis of gender dysphoria and how we're going to move forward in handling this type of mental disorder, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Or is it like, we're here to make a quick buck, so we're going to push
This agenda.
we're going to push, right. We're going to give you full everything because I know I'm going to get a check.
Here's
out of it.
estrogen or testosterone.
Right.
Go ahead, start taking it.
Right.
The other thing, since we're talking about this, there's a documentary. It's such a good documentary. You
What
guys
is a Woman?
should definitely watch. What is a Woman?
I knew he was going to say
Dude,
it.
I kid you not. Some people, like, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen that documentary, like, dude, just watch it once.
Is that where they were like interviewing college professors?
Dude, it
And
was
they
the
couldn't even-
funniest.
they
But
couldn't
actually,
even-
pull up a clip. Pull up Matt Walsh talks to Professor.
Will
What
it
is a
even
Woman.
be available on YouTube?
It will.
Okay.
This part is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The professor.
Oh, it's
He just keeps reversing the question back.
incredibly
Yeah.
amazing work.
And I think Matt Walsh's theory was the only reason why they can't answer that is because they know what it is, but if they do, then that discredits them, and they
them.
lose their job.
It goes against the system.
It goes against the system of yes.
Yeah, so they're in a box.
Exactly.
Those who support the
Hold on.
Oh no, that's
No,
not
this
it.
is response.
It's a guy. He's got glasses on.
I hope YouTube didn't remove it.
That's the guy. Yeah.
This
yeah,
guy?
right there. Yeah.
Oh no, it's just a breakdown.
It's a breakdown. All right, let's.
Wait, what's his name? Does it say his name? No, keep
Let's-
going.
But you get the idea, right? Because if he acknowledges what a woman is,
Mhm.
which Matt Walsh explains there, then he loses his job because he's a gender studies professor. So-
it just doesn't. Yeah.
If he literally says what a woman is, then it just derails his
Right.
entire purpose of being a
Being-
gender studies
Yeah,
professor.
it's like, what
So
do
he
you-
gets fired. So he follows the agenda that they want him to in order for him to keep his job. You see how crazy that is?
That's nuts. Hey, that's a system, bro.
That is a system. It is.
That's a system. But
Very-
it's like, do you
Be aware and then navigate around it.
Or like there was another question.
You can exit that, Jeff.
There was another question they brought up to Matt Walsh, and like this one person goes, "You can't say what a woman is because you're not a woman. Only a woman knows what a woman is." And Matt Walsh's response is, "Can you tell me what a cat is?"
Yes, I saw that one too.
Oh no, he says, "Are you a cat?" No. Can you tell me what a cat is?
And then she says this was a mistake.
This was a mistake.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to be something in order to understand what it
what it
is.
is?
You can describe it and explain it on what exactly it is, where everybody can equally understand and all be on the same page. But once you change that definition,
Exactly.
then you're just confusing everybody.
Now you're making.
Now we can't
words,
communicate.
Right.
Well,
You're disrupting.
it's
communication.
now just getting to the point where a lot of parents are homeschooling their kids because now the agenda that these young teachers are doing is their mindsets is they're projecting that onto the students.
Onto the kids.
So and in the
And
books,
there's a reason they go after the kids, though, because if you get them at a young age,
oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, you're a
you got
sponge.
them.
You're a sponge.
You're a sponge. You absorb.
Now they're arguing a battle that, you know what I'm saying, that precedes their understanding of what's going on.
It's,
Yeah, I'm saying.
it's insane, dude.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. Only extra thing I would add into that, I don't think you should. I still don't think you should target people like transgenders, you know, because of their choice.
Yeah.
Their choice.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of them that don't follow that agenda too.
Yeah.
So
right. It's more like
it's not most. It's only some.
I think that the transgender community, I think that it's a travesty what's going on, because I think that they are the most conflicted and confused group of people out of all of us.
Mhm.
And I think that other people understand that weakness of confusion and they're using it against them. Because if you're confused, you're an easy target.
Mhm.
If you don't know what's
Right.
going on, you're an easy target to
If
be
it-
used and abused.
If it makes me feel some type of way,
They're just trying to feel some type of, how do you explain it? Like they're
acceptance.
they're so lost, and they're striving for like acceptance in any type of
Mhm.
way, and then these people come in and like promise them that acceptance, but in actuality, are they really giving, like,
no,
is
they're
this really
using
good for
as
them?
A vehicle. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're being used as a vehicle. I understand that. For me, I feel like this can all be solved with a more in-depth understanding on mental health.
Yep.
It's like,
Which we just started hitting.
and we
the-
just really kind of opened the
Tapped into it,
Pandora's box into what mental health is, because there's a lot of things. Because it's like, yeah, you could, like you just said, you could easily write someone off as crazy, but you know, we still don't understand. We try to tie everyone's thought process into what we anatomically understand about the brain and
Yeah.
how
dude.
it should, you know, function, and then that's like your standard for how a normal person should function.
That's the parameters.
But every day we're always finding out other shit. But it's like, what is, I don't want to say a homeostatic, but what is human brain function? What is mental health at an equilibrium? How do we define what a normal thinking person would want to choose and want to do or want to be or want to live their life?
Mhm.
and understanding how, like, if we truly understood mental health, which I think, I'm gonna go off on a tangent, which I think would be kind of crazy, because then it's like, even in that realm, you're still assigning what the rubric should be for what is normal.
What is normal? Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're still going to create an other in society by deeming this is what normal is.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way out of it.
Right.
Because I think there is a normal, and I think that's why there's no way out of it.
Right.
Now, what is that normal? That's where we run into the issue.
Because it's like the more we uncover, it's like we have to kind of re-understand the shit that we thought we knew.
Yeah.
I think the way for us to find out what really it's, I guess the only way you could find out. Well, see, this is the problem, dude. Because I was gonna say by seeing the end results of what happens with all of this,
Mhm.
but then the thing is, we don't know what the fuck happened.
We don't know what
Yeah.
the
We don't
know what
fuck
the fuck
happens,
So
So it's like,
And anybody who has came back, they're dubbed crazy.
you see
so,
what I'm saying?
no matter what,
Because it's like, at some point, like I said, society is a system. It has to abide by some rule, some rubric, to get it to where,
It's a computer program.
the greater powers that run it want it to go.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
They're writing the code.
they're writing the code.
they're writing the code.
They're writing the fucking code.
So it's like, well, shit,
What can I do?
what can
navigate as best as I can?
you see what I'm saying?
Just
It's
be
like,
aware of what it is and just navigate.
like
as
if
best
you
as
know
can.
what it is, and you want to individually live your life that way,
Mhm.
you will be able to distinguish yourself from the things you disagree with and move through life according to what you want to, however you want to move through it. Then again, the powers that be can encroach on what personal freedoms you have.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about freedom, look up Romans 9. This is a really interesting couple of verses that are going to get us a little bit on the free will subject.
Let's go to. Is there a specific
Look up
verse?
NASB. Romans 9 NASB.
There we go.
Yeah, the top one.
Okay, so
Let's go.
there's a-
That will be away. Okay. Go down a little bit. Okay, wait. There was promise in this. Okay, so right here. So we'll start with verse 9. So for this is the word of. So this is Paul talking to give you a little context. This is Paul talking to Jewish people.
Okay.
Okay, I think this is in Rome, where this discussion is going on. So Paul is talking to the Jewish people about free will.
Yeah.
They're having a debate with this. So Paul goes, for this is the word of promise. At this time I will come, and Sarah will have a son. And not only that, but there was also Rebekah, whom she also conceived twins by one man, our father Isaac. So the sons are Jacob and Esau.
And Jacob.
Okay.
For though the twins were not yet born and had not done anything good or bad, so that God's purpose according to his choice would stand, not because of works, but because of him who calls, it was said to her, the older will serve the younger. Just as it is written, Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated. Scroll down a little bit. So then he goes on and he says, what shall we say then? There is no injustice with God, is there? Far from it. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I have mercy, and I will have compassion on whomever I have compassion. Actually, forgive me, scroll up a little bit. There's a part where he talks about Pharaoh that I missed. If you see Pharaoh anywhere, point it out. Or maybe it might be a little down.
Yeah.
It's in this chapter.
How do I search? Pharaoh.
Oh, actually, I just had to keep going. For the scripture says to Pharaoh, so this is God talking.
Mhm.
For this very reason, I raised you up in order to demonstrate my power in you, and that my name might be proclaimed throughout the entire earth. So then he has mercy on whom he desires, and he hardens whom he desires. Now, if we go into Exodus and we go back to the plagues of Pharaoh, it actually specifically states that God specifically hardened Pharaoh's hearts so that he would not let the Israelites go. And now we learn in Romans 9 that the reason God did that was God was trying to demonstrate his power to the entire earth.
Wow.
Because the thing is, at that time, Egypt was basically America.
Right.
The
Right.
Israelites wiped out America in like 7 days.
Wow.
And bankrupted them at the same time.
Yeah.
They wiped out their army with the Red
With
Sea.
the Red Sea.
They bankrupted them because the Egyptians were so fucking terrified of these people. They wanted them to leave so bad, and they gave them their treasures
Their
and
treasures,
shit,
their gold,
so that
yeah.
nothing bad would happen to them anymore.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world saw that and were terrified. When they showed up to Jericho, they were already ready to give up. They locked themselves in their city because they saw what happened to Egypt. But basically, this is an interesting thing because right here it says that. Does that seem like Pharaoh had a choice in that situation on how to live his
No.
life?
No.
Or did it seem like God wanted something to happen
Right.
and Pharaoh had to do something in order for that to happen?
Yeah.
But then also, if we continue going here, then Paul says, "You will say to me then, why does he still find fault? For who resists his will? On the contrary, who are you, you foolish person, who answers back to God? The thing molded will not say to the molder, why did you make me like this, will it? Or does the potter not have right over the clay to make from the same lump one object for honorable use and one for common use? What if God, although willing to demonstrate his wrath and to make his power known, endured with great patience objects of wrath prepared for destruction, and he did so to make known the riches of his glory upon objects of mercy, which he prepared beforehand for glory."
Wow.
Dang.
That's crazy.
So then it's like,
bro's like, yo.
so what do you guys think about that?
Jeez. That's, like I said, it's like, it's his will.
Yeah, it is.
It's his will, you know?
But then that has you thinking, though, because in the Christian text, in order to be saved, one has to believe in Jesus and bear their cross on a daily basis. But it also describes in the Bible that, look up Matthew 6.
That's crazy.
Now this will make it even just like
Yeah.
deeper, bro. I believe it's
Two
chapter
twos.
6.
Matthew.
Okay. Scroll down a little bit. Keep going. Go down a little more. Wait. Go down a little bit.
A cure for anxiety.
Go up a little bit. Stop.
For the reason says to you, do not be worried about your life.
Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because this is important.
But they say, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done."
No, it's it basically states that one cannot be saved out of their own will in any way, shape, or form. That God himself has to, by his will, open
will.
their eyes and they can be saved. So then that poses the question, so when it comes to salvation,
You have to be.
is there nothing that you can do to be saved? It's just God's
This
choice.
is,
That's the question.
that's the question.
So, hold on.
Unless he opens your eyes,
So, let me put-
you gotta be open-minded.
Sorry, this is taking a second.
No, you're good.
No, dude,
You're good.
Good thing.
Where we at on
205.
205? Okay.
Hey, yo. Yeah. That's still trippy though.
That is. Like,
think about that shit.
from everything that we talked about.
Yeah, that's why it's like even in the Bible, it's like you can't really say there's good and bad, because God chooses.
Yeah.
He literally chooses.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
That's why when
You could be a criminal. You could be.
But yeah, and then that's why the whole theory is that we're just living embodiments of God,
Right.
living we're the universe living through different experiences, like you're saying. He chooses, which is why it's crazy to me why when certain people or religious people say, "Oh, you're gonna burn in hell because you don't believe in this, that, this, and this," they're misconstruing that to what they understand what the Bible
That's their
is.
interpretation.
That's their interpretation of what they. But it seems to be a similar mindset with some of them, not all of them. But it's like that's their interpretation of it, and
I think I found it, guys.
you got it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I found it. So this is Jesus talking to his disciples. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 25. Actually, just do Matthew 11 and then scroll down to 25.
Yeah, it'll be easier to do that.
Okay, so, alright, so at that time Jesus said, I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that you have hidden these things from the wise and intelligent, and have revealed them to infants. Yes, Father, for this way was well-pleasing in your sight. All things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, nor does anyone know the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son determines to reveal him. So, in this verse, we learn that, so in the Christian doctrine, Jesus states that no one can come to the Father but through me.
Wow.
Jesus is also called himself the way, the truth, and the life. When he says those things, he's saying, I am truth itself. I
He's a
am the
shepherd.
foundation of life
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
All life came from me. So, what he's saying here is the only way to come to salvation is through me. But the
yeah.
only way you will come to me is if I will you to come to me.
Wow,
Right?
Wow.
that's nuts.
Wow.
But
That's a different.
But then we go back to Romans 9, and you might think, because first you say, well, that's not fair. But then you think about it, and it's like, it's not fair in a human perspective,
Right.
but we're not thinking about it from God's perspective,
Right.
because God is not man.
Yep.
He's not.
God
he
is
does it.
above man. That's like, because
Yeah.
that's dead ass like us
Yeah.
making a computer in a certain way, and that computer getting upset with us.
With us.
And it's like,
who are you?
Without
I
me,
got you.
you wouldn't even exist.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Exactly.
function. You wouldn't.
So you have no right to say what's right and
Okay.
wrong in my presence,
I
because
gotcha.
without me, you are not even a thing.
Yeah.
I got you.
So
That
like
makes
when you
sense.
think about it like that, like then it's like, okay, at least for me, it's like, because when I first heard this stuff, I was like, dude, what? But then I heard about it like that, and I was like, you know what? That's kind of hypocritical for me to be upset about that, because how many times do I get upset when my computer doesn't do the thing that it's
Yeah,
supposed
right.
to do?
Yeah.
When it's like, bitch, I could just unplug you.
I
and
gotta
throw
plug
out.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need to
Give
do
me
that
a new
shit.
one.
Discard you.
You know what I mean? Like
What?
anytime we deal with a technology that
Insect.
doesn't work, we just throw that shit out
Yeah.
because it's not doing what its job.
Its
Its
job.
job.
Its purpose.
It's not doing its
Damn.
purpose.
Damn.
So what do you? I
That's
mean,
facts.
You always put things in different
Yeah, you put that
perspectives,
in a different
man. Yeah.
perspective for me. That's
Yeah.
facts. That's facts.
And hopefully with this knowledge that you're spitting, like our listeners can
That's facts.
look at it from that, because
I can
again too,
understand
if
that.
you're willing to open your mind and listen to the conversation and try to get a different perspective on it, not saying that this is what you have to believe in, but just be open.
No, like,
Yeah, like
bruh, open yourself to that. Enlighten yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
the world
it's like,
is stranger than
It's
we think it is.
strange,
It's a
dude.
lot weirder.
with age
we're
comes
looking for
wisdom.
aliens and we still don't even understand humanity yet. Bro.
We still don't even understand our ocean. 3%.
We're the aliens, guys.
Yep.
We don't even realize it.
Right.
It's gonna be some like crazy epiphany, self introspection bullshit. Like we
Right.
just all wake up. We're the aliens.
Oh, yeah.
on some bullshit like that, bro. Yeah, that's how the movie ends. We're the aliens.
We erase our own memory.
Credits roll.
Yep.
That's nuts, man.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, that'd be
That's nuts. That's
yeah.
nuts. All right, so before we go, let's just touch up on the election. Is DeSantis gonna run for president? I called it like 8 years ago. I called it.
Dude, okay.
He said 8 years ago.
Bro, they were chanting 2 more years.
100%. If I I honestly think he might, but like, this is the thing, bro. I wish they did this personally. I wish. Now this is gonna be really controversial. This is my opinion. I
We love
because
those.
I understand a lot of Republicans want DeSantis to run, right? But this is the thing, bro. You let DeSantis run, you only have a possibility of being in the seat of presidency for 8 years.
Yeah, that's true.
You let Trump run, he wins, you get 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then you let DeSantis come in after him, run 8 years. You got 12 years to make changes.
Here's the thing, people, the general population, all his back candidates lost their races.
But this is the thing, bro. I don't even think, even if DeSantis won,
Like I
don't even think he.
I think he has a better. Me personally, I think he has a better chance against any Democrat after Joe Biden.
100%.
That's true.
This is the problem.
Any Democrat after Joe Biden.
I don't think any Republican has a chance. I 100% am fully convinced that our elections are 100% rigged, and I think we have seen the end of the Republican Party.
For a while.
I think they are going to
For a while.
fade into existence
For
For a
because
long
ties-
time.
the ties that Dominion voting has with the Democratic Party is just literally Dominion voting is only a thing because of President Obama.
Wow.
Because he wanted to digify.
Well, basically what happened
Digitize
was
elections.
Dominion voting Dominion voting is the market leading share in our electronic voting systems. Before Dominion, so Dominion started out as a progressive, well they still are. They started out as a company pushing progressive ideology. So for 5 to 6 years, they didn't get any type of business whatsoever. The leading market share at the time was ES&S. They owned 70% of the market share. The moment Obama came into office, ES&S just recently acquired another company called Premier Solutions. Obama's administration stripped ES&S, gave Premier Solutions and a bunch of other technology, and forced them to sell it to Dominion. And that instantly made Dominion the market leading share in the electronic voting systems.
Yeah.
Now, Dominion is the main voting machine that Americans use to vote. Even if it's not in all 50 states,
Yeah.
it has the majority of the
Does
states.
Florida use Dominion?
Yes.
So how do you explain the sweep? The
Because
Republican
if you make
sweep?
it too obvious, you can't make it.
So are you?
They couldn't not let DeSantis win. That'd be too obvious. Way too obvious. That wouldn't make any sense.
I feel like even
Because then they want to
even
put the whole
if
voter fraud thing.
That wouldn't make any
Right.
sense.
But even then, like prior to that, DeSantis passed certain laws to really crack down on
Yes.
voter fraud and shit, and he even like prosecuted certain people. So I feel like
But he wouldn't get rid of the Dominion machines, though. He wouldn't get rid of them.
I think that says something about him. That's how confident he is in his own. Because it's like he is literally the only outlier in these past midterm elections.
True.
Something he's doing or something he did was very successful in gaining all the counties.
True.
Like
He did.
Florida's no longer a swing state.
No, this
anymore.
is Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a Republican.
Florida's
little
no
two
longer
blue counties, and that
bro,
was it.
Miami-Dade flipped.
Yeah,
around.
bro. I
Yeah.
saw
Like
that.
get out.
Yeah, because they're not helping
Body.
anybody. Like I said, she
You see
came
what I'm
out of
saying?
nowhere and said, "All right, I want to help you guys now."
Who Val? Oh, you mean Valdem for
Yeah,
senator?
like what were
No.
you for?
They sent a wet paper bag in Charlie Crist to go challenge this. Like, come on, bro. From the jump, I was like, he's gonna win his second term for governor.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna run for president.
I definitely most likely scenario is.
I
This
think
is the other problem too, man. You can't have Trump and
'Cause-
DeSantis running together, because they're gonna take votes away from each other. Or wait, actually no, that doesn't. Make
Regardless,
any sense
yeah,
because,
regardless
no,
of who comes
that doesn't
out,
make any sense.
regardless of
Only
they're
one of
gonna
them will get out of the
split.
primary.
Yeah, whoever gets out the primaries, but like, yeah, they're gonna split the vote. But it's like I feel like with DeSantis, he has none of that baggage. Whatever you want to say, baggage Trump has, he just doesn't have that following.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I
My
agree
guy
with
was
you.
literally in the military, served as an attorney for like the Marines and shit.
Yeah, what can you?
You sure I'm saying? Like, he has his head on. Like, even though some people might say, oh, he's just a more calculated, evil Trump. In terms of politics, he's the Republicans' best hope. Because, me personally, and I've been saying this for the longest, I feel like when you make a deal with Trump, it's a one-sided deal.
Yep, it is.
But I think that's what America needs, though.
Yeah, a one-sided deal.
For
I feel
us.
like with DeSantis, he made a deal with us and it paid off. He kept us open during COVID and it paid off.
true.
While
That's true.
economies were tanking.
Even though
That's true.
everybody else was against it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
He paid he helped fund a lot of our police departments. Do you see drug crime and drug trafficking in
No,
the news
got
like
rid
that?
of it.
You sure what I'm saying? Like, you really have to
I
look
mean,
at the
really-
shit he's been doing since
But again, like I was,
2016.
but
And-
again,
and-
like I was telling you, whether you're Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter if they're doing right or wrong. They're always gonna look at. Well,
Right.
I'm always vote Democrat because I'm Democrat. I'm always vote Republican.
Right.
They're
No,
not,
no,
they're,
no.
not they're not looking at what.
Like,
he's-
I'm literally looking at, like,
Yeah.
man, Florida was really the only state chilling during the pandemic.
Mhm.
Florida was
Beaches
really
were still open. Jobs were
Did
still
you
open.
guys see Arizona?
the Kerry Lake and
Dude,
something
It
Hobbs,
took. This is. Tell me if this
Marsha
makes
Hobbs
any
or
sense,
some
bro.
shit.
Florida has a population of 21 million people.
Mhm.
Arizona has a population of 7 million people. Florida's election votes were counted the same at the end of the night on election day. We had them in. It took Arizona a fucking week to get their results in. They have 1/3 the population of Florida. How does that make sense?
Trying to
How does that make
swing
sense?
it, swindle,
Maybe
switch
Alright.
It
it.
took them a week.
let's
bro.
give
Switch
let's
it.
give them the benefit of the
Benefit of the
doubt.
doubt. This is my
Maybe-
benefit of the doubt. Swing it, switch
He-
it, swindle.
Here's my
Like,
benefit of the
How does that
doubt.
make any sense, bro?
Don't they only have like 6 counties across the whole state? Like, they're like huge swaths.
My response to that is get more people
This
to
straight
count.
desert.
Like, we are supposed to be the United States of America. We are supposed to be the top echelon of all countries.
Right.
We are supposed to be the top of democracy.
The Empire.
If other countries can run elections more efficiently than us and can get their votes in quicker than us,
Uh-huh.
that is a problem.
Yep. That is
But that's the thing. It's
That is a
like,
problem.
I think it's
How does that make any sense? And we have digital machines too, which are
Right.
supposed to count quick. Because this is the thing. Before we did digital elections,
We
we
had the
actually, when we
whole
did
bunch.
paper ballots, we got the results the same night.
except for Florida. Florida was always
Except-
fucking up.
But
Florida, what was it? Bush and Gore. It took what, 3 fucking months? 3 months.
You're
yeah,
joking.
they didn't
oh,
announce.
dude, that was a whole.
Oh my God!
They
what?
didn't
fucking
announce
thing,
who was
bro.
president until January. Who won Florida until January? That
Damn.
shit was.
That
nuts.
was, but this is the thing, though.
That's
Majority of
nuts.
each state got their votes done the same night.
Mm-hmm.
Computers are able to do calculations at the fraction of a second that human beings can do.
Yep.
So how the hell are computers taking a week longer than humans to do the
Switcheroo,
same job?
bamboozle, swindle. I don't
computers-
care what you want to call it.
We're supposed to be more efficient, which is
Yeah.
why we put them
Right.
in there in the first place.
Uh-huh.
So if they're not more efficient than hand counting it, why are we using them?
Why are we using
No
it?
benefit of the doubt, Jeff. They're trying to cheat.
trying to cheat, bro.
That's it. That's it, Jeff. That's it,
Come
my
on,
guy.
man. Who's not trying to
That's
cheat?
it, my guy.
It's
They're
literally
making it
spy versus spy.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
they're
know
making
how-
it way too obvious, though.
It's literally
No.
spy who's
This-
just the better cheater.
This is what convinced me that there's nothing that can change my mind after I saw this.
Yeah.
The literal CEO of Dominion himself, John Polos, literally went under oath, in court, where this Republican congressman was asking him questions, and he was asking about DEF CON.
Yeah.
Now, you guys know what DEF CON is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He literally said, will you give your voting machines to DEF CON? And he said, we will help you in any way except dealing with DEF CON in any type of way.
Jeez.
Any way.
Damn.
Jeez.
And DEF CON has been able to successfully hack every single
Everything.
fucking device that went
Ever.
Every device.
Ever, forever, and ever. What the fuck?
And they won't, not only
Damn.
Dominion, but ESNS also will not let any of their machines go anywhere near DEF CON.
Oh my god.
The people of DEF CON had to buy the machines from fucking eBay to get these machines in here. That's how far these people had to go. Like,
Crazy.
Ay, Dios mío.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that shit with Apple?
yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you don't want to give the government the password to unlocking an iPhone? Sure. All right, no worries, bro.
Who just acted
Yeah,
that?
no worries.
We got it. We got it. That's nuts to me, man. Like, come on, bro.
Fugaziness, bro. Fugaziness.
That's crazy, man.
Go back on that.
Me, in all honesty, like the primal aspect of it, I just want to be entertained. I just want to be. I want to see DeSantis and Trump sprinkle some Mike Pence in that bitch. Oh my gosh,
That's
bro.
it.
That is prime time. I'm staying up late every night. Prime time. I gotta see that. Bro, you don't understand.
Jeff, you stupid.
That's peak.
You
That's
stupid.
peak nonfiction.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, holy shit, this is actually real life. I get to witness this.
Real life, yeah.
Dude!
It's not simulated.
Like, sometimes, like, you just gotta take a step back and be like, shit, this is real life.
This is real
This
life.
is real life. Ain't no simulation.
This ain't a
No.
movie, bro.
No, this ain't a movie.
There's no
This is
reenactment,
real fucking
no
life.
nothing.
I'm actually seeing this bullshit
Yeah.
unfold in front of
I'm
me.
actually
That's
seeing this bullshit.
nuts. That's nuts. I love this shit, man. Like,
You can't make this shit up, bro.
No,
no,
you can't.
that's why I
can't
never
make this shit
like
up.
at this point. Like, I have no thoughts of exiting this reality on my own accord.
Dude, I remember I used to want to be in anime world so bad because I used to
Isekai.
I used to think our world was so boring,
Boring?
but dude, it is far more interesting and intricate than any world
Yeah.
you can
Me,
think of.
I would low diff an anime world. At this point, knowing what I know now in this real life,
Yeah.
I would I would scale low difficulty in any transported anime
Yeah,
world.
right.
Absolutely.
Overlord.
The shit I know about like how world orders and politics works here.
Overlord.
I'm Overlord.
That's
If
it.
you ever have a chance, man,
Watch
if you
Overlord.
really want to like
Overlord?
indulge in some like absolute power type shit, like bro, this guy literally gets isekai'd from like the real world into some, you know how it is, like magical fairy tale and shit.
Yeah.
But like he's summoned as like
The undead.
the Lord of Death,
He's the undead king.
the undead king. He can use magic beyond comprehending. Like they have entire, the world building is amazing. But
So basically, what you were talking about.
what you were talking about, like they have these entire sects and cults in society that like partake
war.
in magic and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Be doing and be changed.
Yeah, and they have holy magic, of course. They have like different types of magic, and like the Holy Council can reach like 6th tier magic. Like that's the peak magic in humanity. This guy's
Six tier.
6.
Sixth
Oh,
tier.
6.
Like yeah,
Oh, he's
That's
be-
weird that they use 6.
Yeah.
That's the number of the.
He's
beast.
beyond. He's beyond.
he's beyond. Like he can
100.
use 12 tier like world building. He has world items, so he could change the history of the world with like a certain item. But it's
Like
so
God.
amazing. He's
Yes.
literally
God.
like God. It's just so crazy the way he does his politics
Yes.
in this world. Because it's like, I could just come in and slaughter you all, but you know,
I
I'm
want
gonna-
you guys to work together.
yeah, I want to
and
partake.
serve me.
Yeah, worship me, work together, and worship me.
So you're gonna love this anime. You're gonna love this.
It's hilarious.
You're gonna love
it's a nice sit down. It's not
Yeah.
too much. Like they'll spice it up with some action, but if you're really into like
Politics.
politics and stuff like that,
Oh, you'll love it.
and
This
then
is the
someone
show.
with this almighty power, where
Yep.
it's like he could just change the fabric of
Reality.
reality.
himself.
The second.
and then the way you see how he limits himself in using that power and displaying.
But
that
it
power.
also shows you the bad side of humanity, especially when they trick themselves into going to war with
Yeah,
him.
you'll notice humanity is their own enemy.
They're like, we're
like
gonna
in the
we're gonna
beginning,
bait.
you're like, oh man, I feel bad for these humans, and then you're like, damn,
You are
that's
pieces
some
of
shit.
shit.
Yeah, we would do that, huh?
Dude, you know what that reminds me of? Look up Daniel. Look up Daniel chapter 5.
Oh, word. Okay.
This literally, because we're about to see a moment in the Bible which just explained what you literally just said. It's in. So it's going to talk about the king of Babylon.
Okay.
Which Babylon was the Egypt before Egypt.
Mhm.
The America before. You know what I'm saying? The main ultimate power of the earth. Now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it myself. Woo.
Damn.
Give me 2 seconds, gentlemen. Okay. So basically what happens is King. Okay, yeah, this is it. Alright, so chapter 4, go down to the bottom. So basically what happens is King Nebuchadnezzar controlled the entire earth, right? And he didn't give respect to God.
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay.
Now that pissed off God. So God basically sent, I can't remember who it was, but he sent a prophet to King Nebuchadnezzar and said that you're going to basically spend the next 7 years as a literal wild beast. You are going to live in the wilderness, you are going to crawl on all 4 floors, and you will live like a beast. And literally a year later, he loses his mind, strips off his clothes, like grows nails and shit, and goes into the fucking wilderness. It's like the president. It's like Biden stripping off his clothes and just going into the woods.
Oh my god.
Right? He does it for 7 years, and then this is the moment where he comes back to like consciousness.
Yeah.
So go down a little bit.
Damn, that's crazy.
Go down all the way.
You good? No, yeah.
Oh wait,
There
yeah.
you
Sorry,
go.
no, he doesn't send a prophet. He sends Daniel. Daniel's the one that
Okay.
basically tells him what's up.
Dang, that's
Damn.
nuts.
7 years, man.
Okay, are you on chapter 4?
Now we talking 7 animal years, or we talking 7 human years?
Oh, that's what it is.
Five.
Chapter, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go to chapter 4 and go to the end of it. So,
Man,
okay.
that's crazy. That's
So, alright, so, but at the end of that, oh wait, go up a little bit. Okay, so immediately the word concerning Nebuchadnezzar was fulfilled, and he was driven away from mankind and began eating grass like a cattle, and his body was drenched with the dew of heaven. His hair had grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like bird's claws. But at the end of that period, after 7 years, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eyes toward heaven, and my reason returned to me, and I blessed the Most High, and praised and honored him who lives forever. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom endures from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of earth are of no account, but he does according to his will among the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of earth. No one can fend off his hand or say to him, "What have you done?" At this time my reason returned to me, and my majesty, splendor were restored to me, for the honor of my kingdom. And my state counselors and my nobles began seeking me out, and I was reestablished in my sovereignty, and surpassing greatness was added to me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise, exalt, honor the King of heaven, for all his works are true and his ways are just, and he is able to humble those who walk in pride.
Damn.
So this is interesting. This was the most powerful man in the world. And this is a situation where God basically came in and said, look, at the end of the day, you are all peasants and pawns. I am. What I say goes.
I am.
I am.
I am.
Yeah, I
Right.
I
am.
am.
And I'll end it off with this last point. And I think regardless of whether you believe in God or not, I think that idea
Mhm.
everybody should believe.
Yeah.
That fear of no matter how powerful the state is, no matter how powerful an army is, no matter what a man can accumulate by himself,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, he has to answer to the same force that
Yep.
all of us have to answer to.
Yep.
Because that idea makes all of us the same
Exactly.
and on the same playing field.
Mhm.
And it also humbles those who have pride because, as anybody knows, pride comes first before the fall.
Before the fall.
So if you have that idea that if I step a little bit too out of bounds, God's going to correct me,
Yep.
and it's not going to. And as you see right here, it's not going to be something you want to see.
Mhm.
No.
So that fear makes people make the right decisions. And I think that the reason why at least the Western civilization has fallen to such depravity is
They
because
don't
we
fear.
don't fear God.
No.
We don't fear.
Yeah. It's
We
out the
don't
window.
fear.
It's out the window.
We don't even fear death.
Nah, bro, we don't even think it's
fear
like,
death. We've gamified it now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because if you look online, people start recording as soon as someone gets shot or someone gets in a car
That's so
accident,
crazy,
someone
bro.
gets
Crazy.
hurt.
People just record that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yo, dude, look at this.
Yeah, man. Like that's
It's-
why
it's-
like
it's normal.
it takes you out. Like there's something uncanny about it.
Something
Like
unhuman about it.
unhuman about it.
It's
And
just
then-
like evil, dude.
yeah,
And like you
I
said,
get that
they're,
weird.
they're pushing in. It's
yeah,
working.
Because it's like that time you took to pull out your phone, you could have tried to help in some way, but
Right.
instead you chose
To
to
record.
profit off of that.
That's crazy. I'm
Put
gonna
it
get
on
views.
Whether you're profiting off of money or views,
I'm
you're
gonna get
choosing to
views.
profit off of that situation. You know?
Mm,
It's like, bro.
that's nuts. Not me. Not me. I can't. I get that weird feeling when something's uncanny. I know. Nah,
the tight
that's not human.
feeling
yeah.
in your chest. Yeah.
That just like off feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You're
that's
just
not
like, oh,
human.
this
That's
is-
not what a human would do.
So would you like to ask him the question, Jeff, before we sign off?
I'll be honest.
You're cooked.
I'm cooked as fuck.
yeah,
I have no idea. What's the question?
What would you like?
Oh,
to
what would you like to leave
off
off
with our audience?
with our audience
that you would like.
that you would like? Go ahead. Finish it.
That you a message that you would like to spread to the world, to
To
our
the world.
audience, whether it be words of wisdom, knowledge, anything like that you could think that would resonate with them.
It feels good to be a zombie. No. Okay.
I think if there's one main thing I could say to people, I think it's people like seriously need to wake up to censorship.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seriously, like it's past the point of ignoring it and acting like it's not a serious thing. Like, dude,
Mhm.
I posted a video of election fraud, and they gave me a YouTube strike saying that it had violence in it. And
Even though we watched
That's-
it.
I have two witnesses
yeah.
right here
Yep.
saying that they
Yeah.
watched the whole thing,
watched
no
That's the whole
violence in it.
thing. That's
Zero.
trip, man.
So, and then we have instances like Andrew Tate getting literally deplatformed off of fucking everything in existence.
Everything.
And
like-
then the only agenda they pull is he's a misogynist or he hates
He's
women.
That's
or
why
Kyrie Irving,
they
he
just
says that one thing
slap
about
the
the
wo-
Jews, and they go after him hard.
They're
So,
like,
if
Get
there's-
naked.
Yeah.
If there's one thing, like, don't fall for censorship in any way, and if you know anybody who pushes it in any type of way,
Mhm.
please, in a respectful manner,
Mhm.
educate them why this is a serious issue and
Mhm.
why your friend or family needs to wake up to this.
Do their
Because-
research.
We are at the point where if we don't do something right now, we won't be able to do something about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
And we're getting there.
That-
We're there.
yeah.
That's why I love One Piece. Oda just gets it. He just gets it because they're already in a time where like all information is
Restricted.
restricted.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
offensive. It goes against, the elite.
It does, dude.
It goes. It offends them, and even the dark parts of it too. It's still
Yeah.
valuable, but like when we went to see Film Red and Tota Musica,
Mm-hmm.
it was, a type of music that existed in their world that summoned, what was it?
Demon.
The soul demon or
Yeah.
something like that, that went and devoured the souls of people who heard its music. But even that knowledge was barred
From
by
the void century.
barred by the government, and the people just were like,
Yeah.
they just eat that shit up.
And one thing too, especially if you're in the States, like
Mhm.
one thing, don't ever tell yourself this stupid lie that there's nothing I can do about it, and even if I did something about it, it's not going to make a difference.
Right.
That is the biggest lie.
Right.
The biggest
That's
lie.
what they want you to believe. Well, it doesn't
Ever.
matter if I do something, nothing's gonna
What
happen.
do you always say since the beginning?
You
You have a choice.
have to stop looking at yourself like you have to look at yourself as a node in a network.
Mhm.
You are a piece that is needed.
Mhm.
There are other people in other countries that are literally relying on us.
Mhm.
People in Brazil right now are screaming out and crying for us in the States to expose the corruption that is going on in their presidency. Right now, they are having protests to the point where they have called in the military, and the people are demanding the military come in and fix this. But you don't hear that anywhere.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
'Cause they-
And we are supposed to be the nation that exposes the truth, that exposes what is going on around the world. We all have a responsibility to teach and let people know what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you know and what you don't know, we have access to things that people don't have access
That's
to.
facts.
And
That's
that
facts.
comes with responsibility.
of course.
And we
That's
need
facts.
to act on it.
Yeah. That's facts,
Mhm.
man.
For sure.
Amen to that.
Yeah, amen to that.
All right, David.
Done it with that.
Appreciate you for coming again, David. We're
Absolutely, man.
definitely gonna have you again
always
because
good
you're
to see
always
you, brother.
spitting some fantastic
Absolutely.
words of wisdom, and
It's always good to see you, brother.
yep, always is good to see you.
It's just fun, guys.
Yeah, I really love the conversation. Like I feel like we can sit for another 2 hours and do this.
Yeah, I can sit with you guys all day.
Oh, word.
yeah,
Stuff.
Word.
Yeah,
I
that's
might end
up.
up going through my whole pen.
right,
Hey,
bro. He does that especially for you, man. He never does.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. It's like I want to be fully attentive, and that helps me just like bam.
Bam.
Just focus.
I'm
Bing,
just
yeah.
focusing,
Focuses,
man.
man.
I love that shit. I love it. Now we
True.
talked about some good things today.
Yeah, we did.
Man, when are we gonna see you again?
Let's see. What's the date? So I have.
The 15th. It's gonna get busy because I know seasons like
Peeking.
Let's try to do.
before or after Christmas, or later.
I want to meet you guys when I'm posting the third.
Part 2?
Not part 2, because part 2 is going to be posted next week,
Okay.
Okay.
most likely. So part 3 will be sometime in December. I don't know if it's before or after
Merry
yet.
Christmas.
I'm going to assume right now it's before because
Okay.
I have the script ready and it takes them like probably a week or two to bust it out.
Okay, for sure.
So most likely before Christmas. If anything changes, I'll let you know.
All right, for
But
sure.
Whatever date you guys are available before Christmas.
For
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure. That'll be fun. I'll look forward to that. Anything you want to say, Joe?
No, sir.
All right. I'm chilling.
Every time I come in, I
Take us home.
come out learning something new. Thank you guys for joining us at the tabletop. If you want to catch us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And if you want to catch our Ugly Mugs Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on YouTube, one word, Tabletop Topics, and we also have our Triple T's Clips channel and our I'm having a brain fart.
Did you say
TikTok. We also have our TikTok channel too. So if you want to check out any of our content,
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
We finally posted the fireplace.
yeah, the fireplace
The
of the
progression.
making of the fireplace. Thanks to our the best father ever YouTube.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, he teaches us
YouTube's
everything.
the best dad ever,
We're gonna
bro.
have shirts next year for Father's Day saying best dad ever.
Best dad ever. YouTube.
YouTube.
It's gonna be the play button.
Yep, the play button. Yep, we're gonna get like a copyright infringement on that. But you guys have a good night, day, evening, and or weekend. Thank you guys.
Bye bye.
Deuces.